is day 2, 8 a.m. in Atlanta at the College Football Hall of Fame, 7 a.m. where you guys are in Birmingham. Auburn Day today at SEC Media Days. Georgia, Tennessee, Texas also going to be in tow. Hugh Freeze will be with us in just a few moments. He'll get us started here on day 2 of SEC Media Days. Quickly, Greg, let's recap a little bit of yesterday, day 1. LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. Loved our conversation with Clark Lee. If you guys didn't hear that, go back and grab it at the podcast. Just kind of where he wants to take this team, how he's managing Diego Pavia. I still was surprised yesterday, top to bottom, people I spoke to, interviews I did, with people that just don't think Vanderbilt can even get close to replicating what they did last year. And I actually think they're going to be a better football team this year. But there's a lot of people, Greg, that are just falling into that old category of, well, it's Vandy being Vandy. We're going to put them back where they belong. And, no, they won't be a team that's dangerous again in the league.
I see it quite the opposite.
I'm with you.
I don't think they're sneaking up on anybody. That's been what I've said. Like, they're getting people's full attention. So it might be a little harder to replicate what they were. But I think defensively in the front seven, they're much deeper than they were a year ago. Not saying they have guys that can just take over the game and they have twitch on the edges and stuff like that. No, they don't have that. But they should be really good on that side of the ball relative to where they've been the last couple of years. So I think they're going to be – I think their growth and progress is 100% real. And if you don't think so, I highly recommend doing some due diligence on what they bring back in the front defensively.
I want to give you another message that I took away from yesterday. See if you got this, if you felt this, if you saw this. And, I mean, listen, they're quarterbacks, so I probably shouldn't be surprised. I don't know if I'm surprised, but it's just sometimes certain things stick out a little bit more than you anticipate. The thing that I took away from yesterday, specifically with the quarterbacks that were here, Diego Pavia, Lenor Sellers, Austin Simmons, Garrett Nussmeier, confidence. There's not one of those guys that seems like they're questioning anything. Not one of those guys that has a concern about anything. Austin Simmons, I was blown away sitting down with that young man. Just so impressive. Didn't flinch at anything I threw at him. Super confident about what's around him and his situation. Lenor Sellers felt as comfortable.
How was Austin Simmons quickly just on him? I didn't get a chance to visit with him at all, kind of running around. Is he as big as he looks? Did he have
he's put together well.
He's not big hands?
He's not Lenor Sellers, but yes. No, not two hands. Like he's got big hands. Like he was well put together. I was pretty impressed.
I saw him from across. I just really wish I could have sized him up. You know, like that helps. I want to shake someone's quarterbacks especially. I want to shake their hands. I don't know why. I just want to know how big their hands are. Like that to me helps me understand if the guy's legit. I didn't get a chance to visit with him, but he seems like a kid that's got a good head on his shoulders.
Quiet, reserved, but it's almost like it's in there and it wants to come out, but he tries to subdue it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of pressed him on a couple of things, and then he would let a few extras go, and you could tell he wanted every answer to be, I'm really confident in my team, I'm confident in my teammates. And then you would wait, and then I'd kind of follow up with something, and then he would smile and give me a little bit more. So just kind of a silent assassin type, but you could tell.
It's in there.
I asked him about his tight end room. And I said, I'm going to give you one thing that I'm confident in that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. And I said, your tight end room. And he had kept a straight face most of the interview. And he gives me this big smile, and he just looks at me, Greg, and he said, hell yeah. And I was like, let's go.
Well, it's well said. I mean, they got two guys that can go. How many teams in the league have two tight ends?
Georgia.
Okay, obviously, always.
Yeah, I like Tennessee's two tight ends, but they're not necessarily receiving weapons. I know Missouri's got one really good one.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not a lot of teams have two that you feel great about.
I think A&M's got one. Texas has question marks. South Carolina lost theirs. Auburn.
No, that's a problem. I'm going to ask you about that in a few minutes, where they are with tight end and if he needs it.
Ole Miss is the only one with two that I can think of. LSU's got two, but one is very improved. But you can't say that.
You're not allowed to say that.
No,
Bauer Sharp.
Illegal. I'm trying to think of what else, but honestly, there's not many with two. So he probably acknowledges, all right, this is where we might have a slight advantage in the league. We got depth at this position that nobody else has. I mean, maybe he's thinking that way, maybe he's not. Maybe we're thinking too much of it. But I just love that you got to visit with him yesterday.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked him, and I got to visit with Lenor Sellers a little bit. I will say this about Lenor Sellers, and this may be dating you. John may be the only person affiliated with the show that has any idea where this is going. I don't know if John saw the video that I threw out on my Instagram story yesterday. There was a moment for a few minutes that I thought Lenor Sellers was wearing British Knights.
Oh.
Say British Nikes, like Nikes?
No, like Knights of the Round Table. Yeah, you're too old. John, I just sent you the video that I took and posted on my Instagram story.
I'm too old or too young?
You are too young.
Okay, I was going to say, because you're older than me.
There you go. Look at those BKs right there.
Those.
Look at the one above it, though.
Those are sweet.
I've seen these before.
Those are like, I don't even see ones that bad. What was the one above it?
I like these.
Yeah, those are terrible. But the ones above it actually kind of look like
those aren't bad.
No, those are the newer versions. Like they tried to bring them back.
Gotcha.
These things were like
I don't hate those.
Loud. You don't hate that shoe? That's disgusting.
I mean, they look like Dunks.
Cole, that's on brand too.
Dunks.
No, they look like Dunks. I mean, I'm fine with that.
They look like.
I mean, I would never wear that, but
they look like Scottish Dunks.
It looks like Dunks, but the like elephant print, like you got blood on it. You couldn't do anything with it, so you had to color with red Sharpie.
It's a limited edition bagpipe Dunks right there is what that is.
I actually like these just because how
so
dumb
bad.
they look.
They're not.
They look so.
They
dumb.
always used to have the giant BK somewhere on the shoe. They were the most obnoxious, gross, ugly shoe. And I can remember as a kid because they had these crazy commercials, and I used to sit there and ask myself, do I like these or not? Like, because you kind of felt like you had to like them for. Remember, John, there was like a minute in time where you almost felt pressure to like them because so many people were hopping on the bandwagon, and you were like, my brain tells me not to like these.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. No,
but my heart's telling me I should maybe like
these. They look okay, but I don't know.
Right.
Well, all right, I'm really
looking okay, but
I'm really relieved that when I Googled British Knights, what came up alongside it, people also search for LA Gear. And now I know exactly the lane.
LA Gears are back, too.
I know exactly the lane that you're talking about.
Yep. Yeah,
like, definitely a little loud.
Similar ridiculousness.
Yes, a little loud, a little ridiculous. Yes. But I definitely had a couple pairs when I was a kid.
My dad bought me a pair of the Catapults for Christmas one year. Karl Malone's signature shoe. And it was like, Dad, nobody wants Karl Malone's signature shoe. Like, he's the last guy. Nobody wants the pick-and-roll power forward rebounder guy. Like, please give me someone who plays above the rim.
Yes.
He was the ultimate play below the rim guy in the NBA at that time.
Elbow, free throw line, elbow line, elbow extended, layup,
off the backboard,
rebound, long rebound,
kick out. Yeah, I did not need Karl Malone's signature shoe at the time, but we had them. So yeah, they ended up being Louis Vuitton sneakers though, so they're probably like $800 sneakers. But yeah.
Oh, there you go.
How about Lenor Sellers bought a house? I was like, are you old enough to buy a house? You have to be 25 to rent a car. Can you buy a house?
Did you pay cash for that?
I said, I got to ask you. I said, honestly, because purchasing a house as an adult was one of the most difficult things that I have done. How did you do that at your age with everything you got going on? He goes, my parents, my agent helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I'm
straight cash on me. That's what I would have said.
It'd be awesome if you did.
It's amazing, like, what some of these guys are doing. Like, some guys are buying houses. I know a guy.
But think how cool that would be, like, if you're Lenor Sellers and you're going to play 3, maybe 4 years at South Carolina, be one of the all-time great quarterbacks, and you already own a home in Columbia that you can always come back to, like, you can just leave that thing there.
Amazing.
That would be unbelievable.
It'd be amazing. I can tell you what I wouldn't want, though, is ownership in the house and allowing my friends to come over in college. You would have taken a shotgun and shot through the wall. I mean, and I don't even know if you owned a shotgun, nor do I think I just feel like that's something that would have happened in my house. Partly because I know
in your house, or
partly because I know at Brody's house there was someone that fired a 30-06 through the entire house.
Hey, somebody want to test the sheetrock?
Is this sheetrock good enough? let's take a peek.
Is this Teflon?
No, they didn't.
This ain't up to code.
This ain't code.
Sheetrock ain't put its
This has let's see if there's mold in here. I know what I'll do. I'm going to shoot right through
it. Okay, Auburn Day here today. We'll have Hugh Freeze in a few moments, T-Mac. Well, you know, we're just going to hold tight. I was going to go to break, but here he comes, so he's going to hop on. Make sure the microphone's working. Where's the microphone? It's right there.
I feel good about it.
You feel good? You better have
Conrad
the controls ready to be able to get it going.
Conrad set it up. I'm sure it's going to work. If it's Conrad, it would never fail.
I think it's coming around now.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze joining at SEC Media Days. Coach, it's good to have you with us. How we feeling?
Good, real good. Excited, and man, it's just time to kick it off.
How are you
almost.
personally health-wise right now?
I feel great, thankful. Now we've chosen really not to do anything other than the holistic treatment that Jill has.
We are on a roll here.
Got it now.
Technically, we're struggling, Coach. Thank you. Go ahead.
The holistic view of diet and prayer, and then in January we're going to kind of reassess. But I don't feel anything from it. So blessed right now, and we'll see what God has to do with that.
Fantastic stuff, Coach.
Yeah.
What exactly is going on? What's the plan today? Are you kind of thinking about going out there, talking about the expectations that everybody seems to have for your program? I mean, I think you embrace that, or you kind of say, hey, look, we're not there yet. What do you want to do?
100% embrace it.
Yeah.
I think we've got the bullets this year to go and compete, and that's the way I feel. And I've always said what I feel, and I've told people when I thought we had the team to compete, and I've told people when I thought we needed a little more time to build. I mean, ideally, would you love to have one more year to grab a class? Yes, but I feel really good about what I see and where we are, our depth, and the pieces we've added with some experience.
Coach, I want to share this with you that Greg shared with us one day. We were going back and forth about Jackson, and I had a couple of their games last year and kind of saw the situation. And I was telling Greg I thought they benched him too early. And we were talking about the situations he was in offensively with Seth getting fired and Seth not having worked with quarterbacks before. There's a lot. And Greg laid out this whole situation that he dealt with and what it was like playing quarterback for a defensive-minded coach. Now, I'm not pointing any fingers at Coach Venables. I don't know the exact situation, but just that the constant messaging was, don't screw this up. Don't mess this up. Don't hurt us here. Give us a chance here. And I immediately thought about you and Lincoln Riley and Steve Sarkisian, and I'm thinking those guys would never approach their quarterbacks that way. It's always attack, go get it. You can do this, fit this ball in. How much do you think he can benefit just from that, being with you and maybe that sort of shift in mindset?
You know, again, you and I weren't there and not sure exactly exactly what all happened, but I'll tell you this, if you were to sit down and have a conversation with Jackson, he would immediately identify with that. And so I think it was vital for him to choose. I'm like Greg, and I have to go back to I used to do this all the time, and I kind of didn't the last few years. And so but I've already met with DJ, and this is what I used to believe in. There's one objective in this practice, and that is my quarterback leaves here confident.
Yeah, I love that.
Period.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do all the dirty ball stuff you want to do, we put it on there, and I'll handle it how we want to on the other side. But the number one priority, you do all other stuff against some scouts or something, but my quarterback must leave practice confident.
I think ours was the other way. My quarterback needs to feel beaten up after every practice, and that's about where we want to live. Which, by the way, it worked for me.
You know what? There's probably some that does work.
It works for some. You know, I mean, everyone needs
I did all the personality tests.
Yeah.
And I really have never really bought into that.
Right.
But I have this go round.
Yeah.
And, man, you learn a lot. Don't do this with Jackson.
Right.
You know.
What's the person? Is that like the ink? What's it called? God, you're like a 6 or an 8 or a 5?
In all those categories, yes, that's it.
I forget what they call that.
And then they compare. You know, it's based on the 4 basketball players of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman. You're one of those or a mixture of those, and he did it for us coaches too. And it was
Coach,
good.
put this.
It was good, and at the same time, kind of like, ooh. I wish it wasn't quite like that.
Yeah. Might have learned too much. It's like Cole was Rodman. I don't know where I would fall. Probably Scottie Pippen. Who knows? But I feel like
I was a good mixture a weird mixture of Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
The Jordan part was not the real healthy part of the way I react to like quarterbacks or something sometimes, or kickers.
Understandable. Coach, look, there's been a lot of conversation in the last couple months about getting Jackson up to speed. But to me, I feel like oftentimes as a quarterback, you're twisting in the wind on your own when the people around you aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And with all due respect to Peyton and the guys that played last year, the guys around him, at times, I felt like were a little inconsistent. What can you do for the pieces around Jackson to make sure that they're buttoned up so when they're breaking in, he knows they're breaking in at the right depth, the right angle, things like that?
Obviously, I think an extra year, them being sophomores now, and adding a couple mature guys like Singleton and Horatio, I think, because I don't think you saw that with Dre, that we got from Penn State last year, who led us in receiving. He was where he was supposed to be at the depth, but the guy had played 4 years of college football. The rest of these guys, this is their first go-round. And it did affect Peyton, and it affected our offense, truthfully, when you don't run the correct route or the right depth, or the quarterback don't trust you. And I do think that affected us a lot. So the other year of maturity, then obviously better protection, which I think we went out and got the tackles to help with that. And then let's do what we do. The second year we won at Bryant-Denny, we threw for like 368 yards, if my memory's correct. And I think I called 5 drop-back passes. So because you don't want to have to protect like that, though.
Right.
And but in order to do that, Greg, you have to have a guy like we had that night, Laquan Treadwell, that's going to win that one-on-one when the extra guy's in the box. And I think we're getting really close to having that, if not there.
Coach, one position we're a little curious about that maybe we have some question marks, some uncertainties is tight end. Just don't feel like I have a good grasp of where you are, and also where do you need to be with that position? Is that a must-have? Is that a want-to-have for your offense?
Yeah, I wish we were a little deeper there. I think B. Frazier's going to be fine. He can do it all, but past that, we're a little limited as to what each one can do, and so we're not quite where like we felt like we could do most everything with Rivaldo, or in my past Dawson Knox or Evan Ingram could do counter and backside of zone. You weren't going to run power with him, but you really wanted to flex him out and see if y'all would try to put a linebacker on him. That's what you wanted to do with him. And Preston is kind of that way. Obviously, Evan is a 4.27 guy. We're not there at that, but having a sure enough thumper like a Luke Deal, we have moved Tate Johnson there, who was a center.
Okay.
He will help us in all the short yardage. He's lost down some weight, and it was kind of down on the depth chart. And I said, man, you really have a legit chance after we missed out on our targets in the portal, and we convinced him to come back, and so he'll be in the 12 personnel packages for certain situations, for sure.
Coach, we appreciate you hanging with us. Thanks for stopping by this morning.
Absolutely.
Excited about the season.
Us too, man.
Have fun today.
All right, y'all do the same.
All right. Hugh Freeze joining us at SEC Media Days Day 2 to get us started. We'll get a break and be back right after this. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, SEC Media Days, Day 2. Appreciate Hugh Freeze stopping by with us, catching up on a couple of things. Auburn heading into what's going to be a jam-packed day for he and the Auburn players going to be here. We're supposed to have Jackson Arnold a little bit later this hour. Excited to talk to him and maybe throw that scenario of playing for a defensive-minded head coach at him that Greg has discussed with us and how different that was, how that affected him, and if that situation was somewhat similar for him at Oklahoma compared to maybe what it's going to be now at Auburn. But did you like what Hugh Freeze had to say, Greg, when I sort of gave him that analogy that you dropped about yourself playing for Saban and maybe Jackson Arnold dealing with that playing at Oklahoma?
I think, look, it's different strokes for different folks. Like, I enjoyed very much being told I stink. Like, that worked for me. Like, that gave me a bit of an edge, a bit of a chip on my shoulder. Like, would I have loved to have been told how great you are every day? Yes, that would have been nice too. But the realities are I don't think it's for everybody, you know? And I think when you have some coaches and some personalities, I don't know if that's what happened with Brent Venables and Jackson Arnold. I don't know that. I just know that some coaches are especially hard on the quarterback, and I feel like most of those coaches that are especially hard on the quarterback either, one, coach that position specifically, or two, come from a defensive background.
Yeah.
Like, I think others kind of know, all right, hey, we got to kind of lift this guy up. Like, this guy kind of needs to be babied to an extent, but not in a negative way. It's just you got to kind of protect your guy. I wanted very much the opposite type of coaching. Like, I wanted to be told every day, you're the worst, and we're going to show you why here in this practice. I'm going to say, okay, come and get it. Like, that was just my personality. But that might not be Jackson's. And I think that Hugh understands very much, okay, we have had guys in the past that I think probably liked that hard coach. I think Chad Kelly probably liked to be told, you stink, and he's going to go out and try to prove you wrong. And I don't know if Bo Wallace was that way or any of his other quarterbacks. Peyton Thorne was that way, what have you. But I think with Jackson, the talent is there. You know, now it's just about surviving the gauntlet that is playing quarterback in the SEC. You're going to get your teeth kicked in a couple times. You got to bounce back, and that just it stinks. I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard. It's not fun. Like, it'd be nice to go light everybody up and throw for 350 a game, but that's just not where we're at in this league. It's never been where we've been. So only the super, truly special guys can do that. And he's got the physical skill set to do it. Now, mentally, can he handle the gauntlet that's going to come at him?
It's a big question, and we've talked about him having to be reset, rewired, and that Coach Freeze is going to have a lot to do with that. He's going to have to coach him. He's got to get that back into him, that confidence, and it's one of the things that when we visited with Coach Freeze at Regions, he just answered that to you today, like have him leave practice with confidence, have him leave the building with confidence. So I do love the fact that has its emphasis point, and it's something that they're trying to drive home. You would know better than us, though, how you accept that, how you get that in. How do you make it real instead of something that is potentially being coached?
Well, it's not easy, first and foremost. Everyone thinks it's real easy to just shake off a bad play. It's extremely hard. Like, it's very difficult, and you're a human being. Like, you're not a robot. It's hard. But it takes time. I think another year in the system, another year having played and been a starter will be very helpful. The other thing, too, though, and we talked about this, I think we were the only show probably in America talking about this last year, the pieces around him didn't play well. I mean, you can say what you want, but, like, with as much talent as Cam Coleman had, with as much talent as Keandre Lambert-Smith had, Keandre Lambert-Smith was the only guy last year that was truly 100% unquestionably reliable. I knew exactly where he was going to be. I knew exactly what depth the route was going to be. I knew exactly where he was going to be and what angle he was going to take on an in-breaking route, on an out-breaking route. I knew when he made a double move, it was going to set up the defender on his toes and really climb. Like, the other guys were learning, and that's hard. I mean, I think to expect guys to just come out and Jeremiah Smith the world is just unrealistic in most cases. Now, year two, I would anticipate a much better Cam Coleman, a better understanding, a more focused on the details, because let's be real, he probably mossed everybody in high school. Like, seriously, like, do you think he was worried about route depths?
Probably.
Like, do you think he was worried about the angle he was taking on a slant? Heck no. Why would you? The guy's like, throw it up and let me just show these boys who's boss. Like, I'm sure that's what was like for him in high school. So there probably was the lack of attention to the details coming out. And now, because you can point to real-world examples that happened on the field last year, hey, you kind of baited your quarterback here. You thought you were going to break a cross face on a slant, and you actually allowed the defender to jump in front of you. You had to win around him, and it resulted in an interception. Look at that. You cannot do that. You are selling your quarterback out. Everyone wanted to blame Peyton Thorne. Peyton Thorne was 17% of the problems last year. The team itself was the other 83. Yet all we talked about was Peyton Thorne, and he threw picks, and he took chances, and he did things he shouldn't do. So I'm real optimistic because they can point to those specific examples last year. When you can point to specifics, that allows guys to really listen, to really understand, and figure out exactly what they need to do differently the next time to avoid the same result.
All right, so Kendrick Faulk also here for Auburn. Connor Lew in the plaid suit. Your thoughts on the O-lineman going plaid suit? That's bold.
I did not see the plaid suit.
Yeah, I don't know if he went around the corner, but yeah, like a heavy navy with kind of a white plaid. That's he's kind of lean enough to do it though. I think he can pull it off. So, most big guys wouldn't go with the big squares, but either way, that's who will be in attendance for Auburn. Hoping to have Jackson Arnold on the show after our next break and just kind of get his thoughts on where he is in this Auburn offense, what's changed for him since he's become a member of the Auburn football team.
How do you feel? We have already talked about tight end. We've already talked about receiver and the growth there and the likely growth. I think they're going to be great at receiver. I think Jackson's going to be great. I think offensive line's going to be really, really solid. Where are we at on running back?
I think running back's fine. I don't think it is overly dynamic. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's all-time. It's probably not going to have a lot of guys on the Auburn Mount Rushmore of running backs, but I do think Damari Alston kind of gives you that jump cut,
He's got
bounce
some juice.
outside juice. Yeah, a little bit. Jeremiah Cobb kind of sort of best of both worlds. And I love the addition of Darrell Robinson because he gives you a little bit more hammer. He's a little more big, physical. He's kind of that upright runner, but a downhill guy that adds some physicality. So I think you have a variety, and I think there's value with that. There's not an Adrian Peterson or a Trey Mason.
You probably don't want that.
Well, we want it.
Well, you do, but I don't think
every team would take it. But yeah, it doesn't.
In an RPO-based offense, you do not want Adrian Peterson. Because if you're in an RPO-based offense and you have Adrian Peterson, you are making it very difficult on Adrian Peterson. I think you're power eye.
R than P.
I think you're power eye inside-outside zone with AP. But
yeah.
Just saying, I think they got enough at running back.
Yes, I would agree.
The problem that I have with running backs this year, and maybe it's been just the last couple of years, you need 4. You really do. And think about the turnover that Texas has experienced with losing 2 guys in the preseason. 2 guys in training camp. Georgia losing, at times, everybody. I mean, they at one point had Nate Frazier and a walk-on. And look, Cash is good player. But
we're talking about Georgia running back, though. I mean, yeah.
Yes, correct. You kind of need 4 now. A&M, how many did they lose? They lost 2 in the one in the preseason, another in week 7, and at the end of the year they got 1 or 2 left. So I mean, you got to have depth at that position right now. I mean, because these guys are so big and so strong, the likelihood of getting banged up from time to time is real. So that's my biggest fear: is in the event in which Damari Alston were to get banged up and miss 2 weeks, can Cobb carry the load? Do we feel good about that? Do you want to rely on a hammer? Let's just say it's a 2-game stretch that includes Georgia and A&M. And do you go hammer? Do you need speed? I think the challenge.
Here's what I would point to, and that would be something that we discussed last week, and it would be you had a hammer last year, and your carries went 4, 12, 20, 12, 17, 13, 19, 23, 12, 14, 28, 13.
Yeah.
So we talked about it almost every Monday outside post-Kentucky game, I think it was, that he needed the ball more, wanted to see him get the ball more after A&M too, I guess. But you had the hammer last year, and they didn't overdo it with him. So I don't foresee that being a problem, no. I think they have enough, like you said, and I just don't think the back's ever going to get 35 in a game. So
maybe not. Maybe
and
not.
I think Jackson Arnold offsets that a little bit.
He's going to run
He's
the
going to
ball.
get 6-8 carries a game, somewhere in that neighborhood probably.
I just saw him for the first time. He's a little bigger than I realized.
Yeah, he's not. People think he's slight in stature. I
No,
wouldn't
he's
say
not
that.
slight. I wouldn't say slight. He's got a little barrel chest.
Yeah, he's put together fine. He'll be okay as long as mentally, emotionally, everything is in line to where it needs to be. And if it's not where it needs to be for your home, call the Gusty Goulas Group. Gusty Goulas Group serves more than 3,000 home buyers and sellers in the greater Birmingham area. Over 850 five-star Google reviews. Why not Google Gusty Goulas Group right now and just go see for yourself? 205-542-1996. You can call them today, see the inventory that's becoming available, or find out exactly what they believe your home is worth by calling 205-542-1996. You can trust Gusty's aggressive and proven selling system. He's got what it takes to attract hundreds of qualified buyers that want your home. Again, that's GustyGoulasGroup.com or Google Gusty Goulas Group or call 205-542-1996 today and start packing. Continue talking Auburn. Continue talking day 2 of SEC Media Days. And Jackson Arnold joins the show this hour. Next on Mac and Cube in the morning.
McElroy, Cubelic in the morning. Jox 94.5, July 15th, 8:37 here Eastern Time, 7:37 back at home. Bill Smith Buick GMC continues to be the very best, the destination when it comes to your GMC dealer. The service is unbelievable. Called the guys the other day, Sunday night, had a tough time with Meredith's tailgate. We messed it up, all this other stuff, what have you. And sure enough, make one phone call on a Sunday evening. They answer on the first ring and kind of walk us through how we can fix it, what we can do temporarily before it can get in for service. Service like that you just don't get anywhere else, that personal touch. That's why I'm a repeat customer at Bill Smith Buick GMC, and I think you will be too. The service is amazing, but the savings are ridiculous. Getting $14,000 off a GMC Sierra 2025 1500 Z71 4x4 with the SLT trim. This is a beautiful vehicle, and you can get it $14,000 off the sticker price. Get you down and out the door at $53,570. So take the short drive up to Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online, have it delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
All right, so SEC Media Days Day 2 here on, it's not Radio Row anymore, Digital Drive.
Digital Drive.
McElroy and I.
We do have a digital presence on the app.
You gave us a digital presence yesterday. Would you like to go further in
Let's do it.
Sharing what happened yesterday with Paul Feinbaum when you said what you said about Nick Saban?
Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, we both looked at each other. Neither one of us at any point, Paul either, had any idea that was going to be picked up the way it was. I mean, it was kind of hilarious because the last thing we were really trying to do was make news. I frankly was just asking Paul the question. There are people that seem to believe that Nick Saban would be open to returning to coaching. I personally don't see it. I think he's got a remarkably fulfilling life. I think he's still engaged with the game by doing his work on ESPN and on game day. I think he has a tremendous opportunity to spend time with Miss Terry and with great friends there in the Jupiter area and the Tuscaloosa area. I know he's speaking all over the country for a big paycheck. Every time he shows up and speaks, it's for a very lucrative amount. He gets to play all the golf in the world he wants. I just think he's got the best life ever. I think he has earned the right to have this freedom. And I just cannot imagine in a million years he'd want to get back to the deep end of the pool. But people seem to think the fire still burns within. I don't. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it never leaves you. I don't know. But I just don't see it. So I simply asked Paul the question yesterday, and you were there as well. Hey, this is what I'm hearing. People seem to believe that this could happen if the right job came available. People are like, NFL, college. I'm like, I have no idea. Just people think he'd listen to calls if people made him. I don't know. I have no idea. And so we asked Paul the question. Paul shoots it down immediately, and that was that. Next thing you know, people telling Greg McElroy that Nick Saban open to returning. No, we never said he. I mean, I just said that there are people that think he might. I don't seem to think he will. What do you think? You've been around him enough.
I don't see why he would come back. I do understand that there's always going to be – we just spoke with Tom Abraham, who I worked with for a while, and he coached at one point. He said, you've always got the itch to go back to it.
Right.
And you've always got the coach inside of you, I guess. So there's a part of you that probably watches film, watches games on television, talks about it at work, like you said with game day, and you think to yourself – man, if I had that guy, we could go do this. If I was coaching him,
right?
Think about what we could do with him in the backfield or with those guys in the secondary or that guy up front. I'm sure that crosses his mind often. I don't think that necessarily means he's investigating what jobs are open and if he should take them and what it would look like if he did take them. So
let's be real, though. If the Kansas City Chiefs, if Andy Reid decides after this season he wants to retire, and the Kansas City Chiefs are like, all right, we just saw Harbaugh make $20 million a year at the Chargers. Let's go through a $20 million a year at Nick Saban. Would you listen to that? Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
You have to listen to that.
You have to, of course. I mean, so I think the people that I'm talking to are probably in the know, and they're probably citing circumstances like that. Who knows? I have no idea. All I know is that the Nick Saban that I've been around for the last 12 and a half months, or 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 months, however long it's been since he shut it down, the Nick Saban I've been around shows no interest in trying to get back. And frankly, I feel like this is the happiest I've ever seen him. When he was working, yes, he loved what he did. and he loved to coach the kids and loved to win. But he also felt very, on edge, all the time. He always felt like he was right there on just very much. He's all in on everything he does. He is 100% all in. And I think that wears on you after 35 years of coaching. So I just don't see it. I don't think it's likely he comes back. I just wanted to ask Paul the question. Was he hearing anything similar? And he shot it down immediately. So if Paul doesn't know, then I think that very few people would assume he's coming back, because very few people are as buttoned up and as dialed into Paul.
Well, it's enough on the Nick Saban topic. I don't think we need to spend too much
It's
time
a
there
non-story.
on where
That's
it's
what I
going
can't figure
and
out.
what happened. Well, it wasn't a non-story yesterday
wasn't.
because it was everywhere.
Of course it was, but it doesn't mean that was like
There
we
was
didn't
a
break
headline on the
news.
bottom of one network that I saw that was egregious. I'll just say that. I don't care. I mean, to put McElroy says Saban to return to coaching at the bottom of your screen and you cover college football, like that shouldn't be a real thing. But it did yesterday.
People like clicks.
Yeah, it's kind of sometimes
Of all the
unfortunately
things
how it goes.
Of all the things we say on the show, did you think at any point yesterday that would turn into what it turned into? You were listening to the context
but you
of
and
the
I joke
conversation.
often how so many things that we say are specifically you, not so much me, are taken out of context and Saturday Down South or Fan-Sided or On 3, whoever they take it and make an article out of it. You knew that was going to happen.
I didn't actually.
They write articles when Paul comes on. Every week Paul gets an article from coming on our show, no matter what he says. He could talk about the size of the pool he wants to purchase. And, Paul swimming in the deep end. I mean, there'll be some kind of article on it.
I just didn't think, because it was simply a question. It's like, hey, there's people that think you'd be open to it. Paul, what do you think? And he shut it down immediately. So I'm like, all right, that's that. I didn't think for a million years it would turn into what it turned into. I was frankly really surprised. Usually when you do something and you're making a splash and all right, hey, this is gonna turn into something, so choose your words carefully or whatever it may be. Like, I didn't think that. God's honest truth. I really didn't.
Okay.
And the amount of people that said, man, a lot of people ran with those innocuous comments. I was listening to the interview. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Like, yep, no kidding. No kidding.
All right, Jackson Arnold, I think, is going to pass. Is going somewhere else first?
Yeah, we'll come right back.
Okay. We'll go to break. We'll come back with Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold next on Mac and Cube in the morning, live from Media Days. Before we do that, you're going to have to wait. But one thing you never have to wait on is your dental care.
That's because Family Dental has you taken care of. The urgent care officer can be seen the same day in several locations to make it easy on you: Hoover, Fultondale, Homewood, Alabaster, and Trustful. Call Family Dental today. They can get you in on Fridays and Saturdays. Routine appointments now include free teeth whitening. You can also, if there's an emergency, they can get you in. They can get you taken care of. Most insurance plans are accepted, and they're accepting patients of all ages. Call Family Dental today, 874-9605. That's Family Dental, 874-9605.
SEC Media Days, Day 2. Cole Cubelic, Greg McElroy, live from Digital Drive. I continue to have to look over at the sign. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. Digital Drive Radio Row. But Hugh Freeze already visiting with us this morning. Jackson Arnold should be with us here in a few moments. We'll talk to him about taking over as the starting quarterback at Auburn. And Hugh Freeze, there were some people yesterday, Greg, that asked me things along the line of, do you think this is done? You bring in Ashton Daniels. A lot of people want to continue to push the Deuce Knight narrative, and I don't know. I've never even considered that this won't be Jackson Arnold's job.
I mean, I'd be surprised.
Very.
I think, could I see a scenario where there's a role for another guy potentially? Do you sprinkle Deuce in some? For sure. But I'd say the same at Alabama. Like, I think it'll be Ty Simpson, but I wouldn't be surprised if they sprinkle in Keelan Russell.
Yeah, the whole Ty Simpson's not here narrative, there are a lot of people wanted to try to run with that yesterday. Or not coming here. Won't be here tomorrow. You and I have discussed it. We don't think that it's a real signifier for anything bigger at Alabama, but there are definitely some people that want to try to push that and get that going a little bit more.
Like he's not going to.
Like there's a reason he's not coming.
Well, there might be a reason he's not coming because he hasn't won the job yet. I mean, I don't think there's anything.
But I think these people are alluding to he won't be here because it's assumed he won't be the guy. Which every time I was asked it, which was 3 or 4 times yesterday, I just said no, I'm not going there. I think you're looking too much into it.
I think you got to go win the job in the fall. I mean, do I think he's got the inside track? Yes. Do I think he's going to be the guy? Yes. Do I think he had a nice spring? Yes. Like, I think all those things can be true, and yet still a long way from the starting point. I mean, we're still 40-plus days away from things getting kicked off. So I don't think you should bring your quarterback unless he's your guy, for sure, with 100% certainty. And I think that they want to continue that competition. He didn't lock it down in the spring. Now, he established a lead. That's nothing wrong with that, but he didn't lock it down, so you don't go to media days. I don't think I'd make too much out of that. That makes sense to me.
All right, so Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold finishing up next to us. Should be stopping by here in just a moment. We'll visit with him. Jackson, how you doing? Cole Cubelic, good to see you again. I think he has any idea who we are.
Texas high school quarterback, dude. That one, buddy.
Jackson, do you know who Greg McElroy is?
No.
Sounds familiar.
South Lake Carroll. South Lake Carroll, dude. That's it. Denton Geyer?
Yeah.
See, Denton Geyer wasn't a thing when I was in school. It was Denton.
I've been to Denton many a times to call a North
Ryan.
Texas game.
It was Denton Ryan.
Geyer's relatively new.
Yeah.
Somewhat, like 20 years.
And Denton Ryan was legit.
Yeah.
They were
still
really
are,
good.
Yeah.
Are they?
They were good when I was in high school. They won, that's when they had like Billy Bowman and Jatavian and a bunch of dudes and tore it up those years I was there. So.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Now, did you play any high school football in Georgia at all?
Not at all. I moved to Texas when I was 10.
Okay, I knew you told us you moved from Georgia at one point.
Yeah, I was 10 years old, so I moved in the middle of my 4th grade year. So
Wanted to go to Georgia, though? Or liked Georgia as a growing up,
I was a Georgia fan.
I remember you
growing
told
up.
us something like that, yeah.
I was.
I want to throw something at you, and I've used this 100 times because I think it's so cool that Greg shared with us one day. He played quarterback for Nick Saban, defensive-minded head coach. And we had you guys a couple of times last year, and we tried to explain, like, the situation, things that were happening, some behind the scenes. And Greg lays out this whole thought process of what it's like playing quarterback for a defensive-minded head coach, and that the messaging is usually don't screw up, don't throw an interception, don't do this, protect the ball, protect field position. And I had never heard it said that way. And it makes perfect sense because you think about Hugh Freeze or Lane Kiffin or Steve Sarkisian, their mindset is going to be the total opposite of that, like attack, 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 go, go, go. Is there some reality to that there was maybe some pause in your game because of the overall messaging was what Greg was sort of describing, playing for a defensive-minded head coach?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to –
It's not pointing a finger at Venables or anything
not,
of that nature.
No,
not trying to do that. Just that it's a different mindset with the defensive head coach.
And I'm not saying that's the reason I'm not going to say that's the reason anything happened last year, but like that's an accurate statement. Defense, like the coaches think different. For offensive head coach, you think different from a defensive head coach. There's a bunch of times where he was big on protecting the ball. Coach V was big on the turnover margin and things like that. And I didn't even hear what you just talked about until you just told me. And it is accurate. It's an accurate statement. Coaches think different. It's just part of the game. But I don't want to blame that and say that's what that's why anything happened last year.
Absolutely,
but,
no.
Yeah.
No, we don't think you're making that assessment at all. It's just an observation from a distance. RPOs and things like that, you obviously did a ton of them in high school. You did a bunch of them last year. How is this offense that you're now running at Auburn different from some of the offenses that you've run in the past?
Yeah, from last year, we ran a bunch of different things last year, kind of mix and match and threw some things in. Just game plan wise that were different, but I think the biggest difference was from the year before. We were a ton of choice routes, like a ton of either it's RPO or in the shot game, a bunch of choice routes, and that's the biggest difference for me is now with Coach Freeze, like, we really don't have choice routes like that, not like how it was with Levy and Baylor back in the day. For us, it's more sound RPOs, and I know where I'm putting my eyes, and I know the route that's coming my way. So.
Is there an aspect of Coach Freeze's offense that is just a little bit different than what you've maybe ever been in that you're most excited about? It's a little bit different that you say, yeah, I can see myself sort of thriving in that.
Yeah, I mean, he loves to take shots, and I think it's awesome. It doesn't matter what point of the game you're in. He's gonna take a deep shot and push the ball vertical, and whether that's just straight go balls or double moves or whatever it is, whatever concepts we have in. He's not afraid to push the ball downfield. I respect that, and I love that about his offense.
How about your legs? I mean, last year as the season kind of went on, your legs became more and more a part of how you guys tried to attack people. How much do you anticipate being involved in the run game this year?
I don't even know. I don't know. I feel like that's more of a game plan thing as we go on, and I feel like it depends on what type of season you're having. But if you go into the season, you're 6-0, not using QB run game, you might want to continue the year not using QB run game. But for us, we had stuff like that in the spring, just kind of testing it out. Obviously, I can't be hit in the spring. I won't be able to be hit in fall camp either. But come season, I think game plan stuff, they'll start involving me more in the run game. And I enjoy running the ball. I really do. I love, I love running the ball. I mean, being able to, cut around somebody or maybe even run somebody over. Just kind of having that power of the ball in your hands, and you're just going down the field. It's fun for sure. But I mean, I feel like that's week to week, and we'll see as the season goes on.
I specifically remember asking Seth, I think it was when we had the Houston game, and I was like, are you having conversations with him to slide a little bit? And he was like, he goes, well, I am a fullback by nature, so I kind of like it. But, yeah, we got to get him to step out of bounds every now and then. Like, you like that part of it, though. Physicality, you don't shy away from it.
Yeah, no, I don't. But I do need to be smarter sometimes, too. There's times, I think towards the latter half of the season where I was getting licked pretty hard. And I started to it was actually when Coach Johns became our interim QB coach for the back half of the year. And he was big on sliding and more so like diving out of danger, and so I started to do that more just throughout the last 4, 5, 6 games, kind of diving out of danger and kind of just not taking those unnecessary hits.
Where's your confidence level right now? I mean, now that you're new place, fresh start, feels like you got the whole world in front of you. You got a great supporting cast, great weapons. Don't think enough people have talked about the challenges with your receiver room last year and how many guys were banged up. You got to be feeling good. I mean, as you should be. So how confident are you heading into the season?
Yeah, extremely confident. And, that's not from just me just saying that. Like, I've got so much confidence in my guys, and in our team, too. Like, I mean, our receiving room's unbelievable. Our O-line's unbelievable. Our running backs are unbelievable. Tight end room's unbelievable. Like, I have so much faith in our guys, and, like, in my mind, there's no way we can't go out there and win every game we go out there and play. I've just got a ton of faith in them. Alongside that, like, me having that faith in them is just built my confidence so much because, going through spring, being able to distribute the ball out there and just kind of be a point guard out there, get my balls to my playmakers, just throwing it out to Eric, throwing it out to Cam, hand the ball off to DA, to Cobb. I mean, it was easy for me, more so this spring. I'm just facilitating the ball. And, having that spring put my confidence, I'm at a high level, but just, being around these guys and, them having that faith in me, the coaches having that faith in me has got me a high confidence level going into the season.
Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold with us. A lot of times, media days, we're looking ahead. Sometimes it's fun to look back a little bit. You brought up late in the year at Oklahoma last year. We've all had off weeks where we put some new things in. Sometimes it ends up being laughable. It doesn't work. Other times, you're kind of putting it in. I remember we played Georgia one time. We put in outside zone and counter at a single back. We had never run it, and it was late in the year. We had 2 weeks to work it. I think we ran for like 232. And it was just amazing that it worked the way that it did. What was the real mindset going into the Alabama game with that much that you guys were going to do that was going to be that different, specifically from a read and gap scheme perspective? Did you really believe, like, were you watching the film saying this is going to work? Like, they're not going to be ready for this?
Yeah,
or was it just kind of you got in the game and like, wow, here we go?
More so both, honestly. I remember specifically we had a lot of success on like a QB like GT counter. With me and the back are switching responsibilities, so he's almost backside, stretching the field wide, and I'm the one running the GT counter. And I remember seeing it. Tennessee ran it a good amount against them and had a lot of success against them. Honestly, didn't use it enough against. I mean, they won that game. Tennessee obviously won that game, but I thought they didn't even use it enough against Alabama that game. And so I knew that play was going to be a big hit for us. But when we got into the game and we were just killing it on the GT QB counter, like it was unbelievable the success we were having with that play. And like you said, we had I want to say maybe our bye week wasn't before that, but it might have been before that. So we had a couple weeks it was before that.
Yeah.
So we had 2 weeks to actually like go through the gap schemes and everything that we needed to go into that game, and that play ended up being a big hit for us.
Jackson, thanks for the time, man.
Sir,
appreciate you visiting with us. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Auburn quarterback Jackson Arnold joining us here, day 2 of SEC Media Days. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you. All right. Welcome back in. SEC Media Days, Day 2. The super busy, very important, better places to go. Ian Fitz Simmons joining us now.
Shut up.
He's so big time
You
now.
just said I got sports center.
You two of my favorite people on the planet.
No,
and
don't
that's how
you
we're going
dare.
to start. Have you figured out your dog pooping situation yet?
The people that listen to our radio show loyally, who we love so much, have heard this often, yes.
Greg, he comes on with us on Friday, and I'd say 8 of the 10 minutes had nothing to do with football.
8 of 10?
That's because
That's
he's
not bad.
asking the questions, though. I didn't
not bad.
volunteer the information.
Not bad at all. I feel like that's
it
about
was,
right.
It was a
Checks out.
constant anger update on this phantom woman with a golden retriever.
Yeah,
She's out there.
She's out there.
it's about right.
You
I
kill
know where
me.
you. I know where you
man.
are.
How we doing, boys?
Good, dude. I feel
What are
like
you starting up today, McElroy?
Oh, boy, here we go.
we had the conversation yesterday.
just kidding.
Freaking Fitz is like we've been like one of my oldest friends in the biz, and he's like, dude, that was ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. Thank you.
I'm in my hotel room just crying, laughing, watching Matt go. It was just an off-color,
It was
live
a question.
kind of
It was-
question.
to be honest with you, I
That
wanted
is
to put it
how-
on Feinbaum. I didn't want it to be on me. Like I thought Paul would take the bait. I
Here,
didn't
you
think,
take this one.
I don't understand. Fall on this grenade, Paul. Shoot it down, or blow torch it. I'm good
Nope.
with either.
That was a BP fastball for him back in the day, man. He
That's
whiffed.
what I thought. It was like his
Yes,
right up his
wheelhouse.
alley. I thought he wanted it.
Paul even kind of sat back like, well, I'm not going to leave me out of this, sir.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Paul's
if
mature.
Paul wants none of it,
Yeah, Paul moved back to Birmingham.
We're
and gets
all
soft.
running in
That's
the
what it is.
opposite
we're in
direction.
a new stratosphere here.
I mean, in a hurry.
Hey, one thing I love about you, Ian, is you always kind of get extra
My
behind the
physique?
scenes, that too,
okay.
extra behind the scenes stuff.
McElroy just threw up.
You have good stories. You have great conversations with guys. Give us something maybe you learned yesterday about
Greg
one of the
Sankey
teams that were
hates
here.
powdered eggs. I mean,
Who likes them?
well, no one really. We were on the college football playoff mock committee together. Remember with Booger McFarland, and they served powdered eggs. And he goes, "Does the real committee get powdered eggs?" I don't think
I
so.
don't remember books.
You don't remember that?
No, but I believe it.
The next morning, you know what showed up? Like farm raised, like farm to table, man. So I don't know how it came
Hatched
up with
that
Sankey,
morning.
but yeah, I mean, it was a hard hitting question. You know,
Yeah.
what do you do up at your lake house? You know, to dial out. He eats the same breakfast every day: 3 eggs, bacon, no breakfast sausage unless you're really in a pickle, and then he cooks something random every night. I thought it was fat, and then his anger.
So, like when
his
conference
fear-
expansion's happening, he has breakfast sausage?
I guess. That's the other thing we got into. When are we going to get stability? I think fans just want stability in college football. They don't want to be waking up going, you know, we're going from 4 to 12. We just danced with 12. We haven't even kissed the prom date yet with 12, and we're looking to kick Shirley to the curb and go dance with Laverne or Bill or whomever your preference is. I mean, you know, at 16, what are we doing? So, I mean, you could tell when just in our little 15, 20-minute
The fact that
conversation,
you're dating
he was
Laverne and
frustrated.
Shirley, people are probably really wondering what you're doing out there. Yeah.
Let me ask you about Laverne and Shirley. What was really going on there?
The only thing I've seen with Laverne and Shirley is that little scene in Wayne's World when they are getting ready to go to the Alice Cooper concert and they do the Laverne and Shirley Open.
Yeah, putting the
That's
gloves
it?
on the thing or whatever.
I've never seen the actual show.
Have you ever watched an episode of Happy Days?
Yes,
Okay, well, it's just a spinoff.
I didn't know that.
Till just now?
I don't think I knew that
Did
either.
not know that.
Really?
I didn't like either one.
You're dead to me.
He's big
Okay.
on. He's a big laugh track
I'm good
guy.
with that. I know.
That's
I
fine.
get it.
Yeah.
Huge laugh track guy.
If I'm dead to you because I don't like Laverne and Shirley, we're good.
Happy Days, man. The Fonz.
I couldn't deal with the intro music.
Pinky Tuscadero.
As soon as the
Tuesday,
intro
Happy
song
Days.
came on, I was like, I'm out. Nuh-uh.
I mean, when your office is a dirty, grungy
That was the
bathroom,
Fonz, right?
Yeah.
And when he came walking in, I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't need this guy.
You're too cool for that?
What about Richie
He
Cunningham?
was too cool.
Did you like Richie Cunningham?
He really was too cool.
In that day, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Not now. Not for me back then. No. I
He-
put the A-team on.
He didn't play.
I like the 18.
Knight Rider,
Yeah.
Airwolf,
Cole didn't
we
like
just-
him because he didn't play football.
G.I. Joe, Transformers.
This guy's not too.
I love. You know what? I miss you too because I just love the running commentary underneath the other conversation going on from McElroy.
It's
Cole,
constant.
just didn't like
he never played O-line. He thinks he's a tough guy, gets all the ladies, nobody cares.
Hey, Fonz, get over there and
Get
get
over there.
Get over there and get a pump.
Run through the chutes, Fonz. 373 on 2.
Fonz, do the whole
Dude,
script.
yes. Hey, what did you guys make of
If
Jordan Rodgers?
we get Connor Lew, we have to ask him if Jake Thornton's ever made him do the whole script after practice to the shoots. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We'll do that. Your question.
This is just our random
look,
BS that we
this
do on
is-
a daily basis.
This has been the
Th-
last
this
month
is-
on Mac and Cube.
This is my kind of show, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like
I was
that
actually
Vandy
just for the
helmet right there.
audience
We need
sake, I
that
started
Vandy
to sweat
helmet
a
for
little
the
bit.
office.
going,
There will
they
be
won-
some
they won
helmets.
football.
There will be some helmets that disappear from this place.
What's that
I don't know
trophy
where
for?
they're going to go or who's going to take them, but I drove my truck, and there will be a couple helmets in
And
the
that
back.
guy can't
How do you
stop
get
us
the
either.
helmet out of? Do you go that back way we normally go to the green room?
Walk right
I
out of
just-
the front door like you own the place.
100%.
Just
Just
walk
walk
out.
right out
Take
with
it
it.
and walk.
Yeah.
Nobody
What-
cares.
What's
What are
that
they
guy
gonna
going to do right there? I got a,
To you?
I
What are
got
they
a
gonna do?
credential.
They're
Ian.
going to put the fawns on us? What are they going to do?
So what's your number one helmet? I'm going right past that. What's your number one helmet that you would snag from the
I'll
College
be
Football
honest
Hall
with
of
you,
Fame?
this white Travis Hunter Colorado helmet is
That's
one
a
that
clean
I would,
one.
I
That's
would
a clean one.
strongly
That
consider
is
swiping.
awesome. How are you going to
What
get
would
to it
be
in a
the
glass
ne-
case?
Uh,
it lifts up.
It's called My Fist Through That Glass.
Daniel Ocean ain't showing up for you, bro.
That's
You're
fair.
going straight Lex Luthor?
I,
I mean, when he walks in there, the big
I might
ball,
go
you-
running. I might go running spinning kick like Mortal Kombat style and just go right through it. I might steal the jersey too. YOLO.
If there's one helmet you don't have in your collection right now, what would it be?
Ooh.
I would have to look through it. There is Connor Lew. Greg, what do you think? Plaid, does that work for a big man?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all for it. If you can pull
He's
it
a
off.
big dude.
Soft.
He
You
puts his
wearing
hand
your
in
dang.
there.
You're wearing your dang plaid. You
Mine would.
soft.
I would have to see all of the. I would need a guide with all of them, but it would be one of the alternate Army or Navy helmets that they've
That's
worn.
always
the
a
last
good
10
That's
one.
a
years.
great
That's
call.
a great one.
Like the hand-painted Navy ones with all the different ships a few years ago. That was unbelievable.
In the snow game,
The snow game was good. I remember it was like 3 years
the
ago.
Snow game, as if there's
Army
it
did like
snows
the-
every year. Which
Like
one are
3
you
years
talking
ago,
about?
Army did like the matte green, and it was like the tank
Ooh.
infantry tank division or something. Oh, man, that was.
I had the privilege of calling it the American Championship game at West Point last year.
Oh, I can't believe how
Nice.
cool that would have been.
It didn't matter. When I looked up on the 50 and George Washington's got 5 cannons on that hilltop, pointed right at the mouth of the Hudson, and
Yeah.
they have this chain that's about as wide as an offensive line.
Yeah.
Right. They bury it. They sunk in the river to I would stop the British fleet, the Armada, at the range of those cannons, and George Washington's basically going, "You want some? Bring your ass up in here and see what's going to happen." It was absolutely
Incredible.
amazing
Yeah.
to see. So great call on the Army helmets. That's
There you
awesome.
go.
Of the ones that are currently in the rotation, I got the white whale for me. The white whale for me that are regularly used was the Kansas white with the big Jayhawk on the
What
side.
about the LSU white?
Oh, like the retro
See, like,
Jayhawk. That's a
yeah,
good
the
look,
retro
yeah.
Jayhawk white with a blue metallic face mask was like my white whale. So I called Leipold, was like, dude, I don't care what it costs. I want that helmet.
Yeah.
It was there in 2 days.
The white
It was-
LSU is nice.
Didn't
but
even
it-
charge me.
Really?
Yeah, no
the white,
Venmo request.
The white LSU is really
Denied.
It's a good look, but I just
The standard LSU
standard
helmet
LSU is so
I just,
good,
you don't
man, you
touch
can't
it.
get away
You
from
don't
it.
touch it. Yeah.
I'm okay with the white every now
I'm
and
a
then.
sucker for
the
matte.
purple bowling ball that they went with a few years
We
ago.
have gone
The
on this
hypercolor, whatever that was.
From
No.
the
Yeah.
Fonz, Laverne and Shirley, powdered eggs,
Yep.
to what helmet would you steal
But
from
I've
the
got,
College
like-
Football Hall of
Yeah.
Fame?
But similar to Greg, I have
That's
mine
variety,
also.
folks, right there.
You can do it all.
I have both of mine, and it was powder blue Ole Miss. I've got that, and then the white face mask
I know what you're
that
doing
Auburn
now.
wore at Penn State a couple of years
You
ago. I thought
see
that
me
was-
that
looking
was
over
good.
at my phone to see if Unsportsmanlike's calling, and you're trying to delay me as long as possible, so I get in trouble
They're
with my
not
boss.
If you
calling
need to
you.
go to do your important interview, then go do your important interview.
They're not calling you.
You see this? You see what I deal with?
You have to call.
Yeah, I just missed it.
No,
I got to
you
go.
Okay.
That's
Goodbye.
not
Hi, Ian.
accurate.
Ian Fitz Simmons of
Green right
ESPN
there.
Radio
So
joining
scared.
us at SEC Media Days. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you
Hugs
for.
and kisses, guys.
It's always
Powdered
nice
eggs,
to have a
banned.
national. It's
Powdered
always
eggs.
nice to have a national personality on the show.
Now I really hate both of you.
Yeah,
Oh, always fun catching up with Ian.
it is fun. I honestly, I'm curious to everyone's response was yesterday to the commissioner, because I do feel like in an era where every time the commissioners go to the podium, there's news, it feels like, or at least there's a stance taken.
Yeah.
And he took some stances, right? Like, we know where he stands on the 5+11. We kind of know where he lives, but I felt like it was remarkably there was no news made. I was surprised. I just thought there'd be more. I thought he would maybe go a little bit more on the offensive with where they're at. All he said is that the Big Ten and the SEC are not in agreement, which we already kind of knew.
Right.
Were you kind of surprised at how little people reacted to some of the things that were said yesterday?
I think I was more surprised, Greg, by how many people came up to me and when we discussed what Greg Sankey said, kind of thought that it was ho-hum or it wasn't up to speed or up to par. And he can't go invent things to talk about. I think a lot of the issues, a lot of the questions, concerns that are out there, people already know, people have an understanding of, and it's just he wasn't going to go try and relive a lot of the things that have already taken place in the past. So
right.
I thought it was fine. You and I sat here and listened to the first 10, 15 minutes, and when we were 8 minutes in and he was talking about attendance at SEC Olympic sports,
right.
I kind of looked at you and said, yeah, there's no news today. This is not going to be one that he's going to try to knock people down or try to say a lot of different things. So just kind of what it was.
Which I think is the right move because he's in such a position of strength. Like, if you are on the ascent, if you are on the climb, if you're trying to establish credibility for your league, for your brand, whatever it may be, you might try to go on the offensive a little bit to make sure that your stances are well documented. I don't feel like he's at that point in his career where he needs to do that.
I would agree.
I think he's in the position where it's like, all right, let's not ruffle any feathers. Let's just maintain because I have the upper hand. And I'm in a real good position to get what I want in some of these conversations.
Connor Cubelic, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
You'll be on that one right there. You want to bust the button out there when you try to sit down.
Not this early.
Here's the headphones. How much thought went into the plaid here? On this, I like it. I mean, it's bold for a big man. Like that's not every fat guy, which I would know, chooses that pattern. So
yeah, for sure. I'm definitely more of a solid Navy guy, but Blue Thread came in and they showed us the patterns, and I was like, I got to wear that to media day.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
It's strong. So we were just talking about one of my offensive line coaches when I was at Auburn used to make us go and lift weights in the corner, do curls after you came in from warm-ups because he wanted us to intimidate the defensive line.
Sure.
What's the dumbest thing Jake Thornton's made you do in practice in the facility?
I don't know if there's one thing that sticks out that like this was the dumbest thing we've done.
There's just so many dumb things.
I wouldn't say that either. I just say a lot of what we do is he's good about making sure that it applies to what we're trying to accomplish in practice that day.
I think that's the biggest difference between 25 years ago and today. 90% of what we did was not applicable to what we did in games.
You guys are so soft.
Go get a pump. Have you ever had to repeat the entire script of practice through the chutes after practice?
I think we've done that a couple times, unfortunately.
So the dumbness of offensive line coaches doesn't completely go away, basically.
No.
If you're running through the entire script and they call a quick pass protection, what do you do in the chutes when there's a quick three-step pass protection called?
Just make it work. I think that's the biggest thing.
You're downfield.
That's what that's exactly what an offensive line coach would do. You're like, what do I do here? What do I do here? Well, I know I got to go through the chutes, and then you'd be in trouble for being downfield if you went through the chutes hard. I don't know what you wanted me to do.
Help us understand. Like, take us inside the offensive line meeting room, because I don't think people realize. I think it's the most interesting meeting room in the entire world. There's nothing like it because you have guys from every possible background. You have guys from every corner of the country, and you're all coming together and doing a very thankless job. All you guys do, if anyone rips on you from the outside, you'll kill them, but you rip each other on the inside as if there's no tomorrow. So, like, help us understand what the dynamic's like on the inside.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, I mean, the offensive line room is, the biggest room in the whole team. So you got all kinds of different personalities coming together, and it's really cool to see how they balance out because every year it's a different room. But I think this year we've got a good mix of, we're serious when we need to be, but it's also cool to kind of be lighthearted and, joke around. We got a lot of jokesters in that room, so it's been cool to see this year's room take shape.
Who's the funniest in the room?
I think the two that come to mind are probably either Tyler Johnson or Jeremiah Wright.
I was going to say Jeremiah's got to be up there, man.
Yeah.
Like he's a character.
Who's the quietest in the room?
Quietest, I'd say Ty Buster. He just got here as a freshman, so I think that
better be.
Yeah.
Freshmen can't come in there trying to bark orders and tell people what to do.
You're spoken to. Who's the tough guy? Like, in the event in which something's going down at practice, like, who's starting it?
I'd say that's the job for one of the interior guys, whether it's a center or a guard. So I guess it just depends on the day.
I love it.
Who's the pretty boy?
I love that we finally get an offensive lineman on the show and the quarterback has all the questions.
Well, I'm fascinated by this because there's always like a pretty boy, a guy that like is way overweight,
there's
tries to wear bow ties.
There's a lot more of them now than there were in my day. But yeah, like the skinny jeans now, and like the jeans that are 3 inches too short. I see a lot of the linemen around the country kind of going that way.
Who's the pretty boy?
I'd say Jeremiah Wright. He can
way
be labeled
too
as a lot of things. That guy's a character, but he's awesome to play with on the football field too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, Greg and I've had this conversation. I've seen one penalty on a full slab in my life, and it was him in Mississippi State a couple years ago. And I was on the sideline, and like Tom and Jordan kept coming down to me, and I'm like, guys, I'm not going to be able to. This is not FCC safe. What I want to say right now, like it was completely egregious. Like you can't call that flag.
Yeah.
And they called it. But what are you guys doing with the expectation this year? I mean, this has a chance to be the best Auburn offensive line in a solid 6, 8, 10 years. You guys know that. You hear that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just using it as fuel, right? You don't want to let it, get to your head and, inflate your egos. But, we know the expectations there, so now we just got to go execute. I think it's a really talented offensive line room from top to bottom. We've got a lot of depth this year that I think will, be cool once they finally get their opportunities to go showcase. But just staying focused, sticking to the plan, and putting your head down and work, and just let the rest take care of itself.
Now, Connor Liu, Auburn Center, with us, and you can maybe add to this.
Yeah.
So you don't have a full understanding of what it was like, 10 years ago when Greg played, 20 years ago when I played. The center-quarterback relationship, I feel like, used to be very different. Obviously, physically, it was very different than it is now a lot of the times. Do you think it's changed? Like, he's in shotgun all the time, so, like, it's almost not even a thing anymore. Or do you guys are you still as close as you think maybe we were back 10, 15 years ago?
I'd say we're definitely still just as close, maybe if not more.
For your benefit, probably not as close. It's probably more comfortable for you.
Yeah,
you think for his benefit?
Maybe a little bit.
I can tell you it's more uncomfortable to be the quarterback in that situation. I can just promise you.
But no, I think Jackson and all the quarterbacks that have come in have been great. And, you never really truly know how it's going to go when you bring in new quarterbacks.
Right.
But like I said, they've all been great. Obviously, the way to the offensive lineman's heart is food. So we go out to eat a lot with the running backs, the receivers, just trying to just
Who's
find
paying for this?
different ways. It's the quarterback.
Jackson's paying for this?
Sometimes.
It needs to be all the time.
They have money now. They get to go to nice places.
Has Deuce Knight paid for a meal yet?
I'm sure he's had his freshman dues at some point.
We've got to get the offensive lineman, though. Until he does that, you can't be a real quarterback on the team. Did you try to go a little bit further with Jackson, though? New quarterback, you know the scheme, you know the system, you know the verbiage. Did you guys try to go maybe get some snaps in, get some discussions in on your own?
Yeah, Jackson coming from another SEC program, I think, it was really cool to kind of pick his brain on what he's seeing, go sit down and watch some film together. And that was kind of some of the first things we've done.
Finally, before we get you out of here, I know you got a busy day. What do you sense is kind of different about your defense this year? Because you're going against them every day. I feel like there were some really good players that were lost last year. Doesn't mean they can't be backfilled with guys that are just as good, if not in some cases better. But what have you kind of learned going against the defense throughout spring?
I think the defense, that side of the ball has probably been fueled the most by the expectations. Like you said, they've lost a lot of guys, so I think they have a lot to prove, and they recognize that, and they're hungry to go do that.
Connor, when the situation arises, when the situation calls for it, not that this would be often, eye gouge, ear hole, punch between the legs, which are you going with? We've all done them all. I mean, they're just necessary at certain points in time.
Don't say we.
Well, yeah, you've never been on the bottom of a pile, so it doesn't happen. Oh, a quarterback should.
You're asking which I'd prefer to receive, or
definitely not receive.
Yeah.
No, you got to give one.
I got to give
certain
one?
people deserve them at times.
I don't know. I like to just keep things as clean as possible and just.
God, the politically correct answer. I get it. I understand. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get this off the air. Should I offer it in bite as an option?
Bite? I'm not sure that would make it better.
Bite happens. That does happen.
I was coached to bite a guy at one
100%.
point. He was eye gouging me, and my coach said, bite his finger off.
Western Kentucky, I bit somebody that was trying to eye gouge me. And you can see my eye black in that game messed up because took that finger, went right down and bit it hard.
Connor, congratulations on your introduction to old school college football, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome to the show. Hey, good luck this year, man. We're excited to watch you.
Good luck, buddy.
I enjoy watching you play, seriously.
I appreciate it.
And we wish you the best this year.
Yes, sir.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
guys.
Connor Loop, Auburn Center, live from SEC Media Days. We'll get to a break. Back with more day 2 right after this.
Thanks, brother.
SEC Media Days, day 2. Fun day so far. Connor Lew just stopped by. What a visit, man. I'm even more of a fan now of Connor Lew.
Well, when
than I
they
was
slid
before.
him in, think about how much that solidified last year down the stretch when the offensive line just played so much better down the stretch, in large part due to him moving around. You know what I mean? I mean, that was big.
He's been a mainstay, and I think with him in the middle, Jeremiah Wright, and I think Dylan Wade is a better fit at guard. Not that he can't play tackle, but I think at guard he's able to be a little more ferocious. And now you have Xavion Miller, as he mentioned, and Mason Miller. They're going to battle it out for a tackle spot. Hugh Freeze telling us Tyler Johnson's going to get more reps at tight end this year, which I like that idea because I didn't feel like you had a real physical presence there. So you utilize him just a little bit. And then you got Xavier Chaplin from Virginia Tech. on the other side that gives you another tackle, and Dylan Wade can pop back out. It's
Chaplin's plug and play, right? Like there's no debating who's the left tackle, correct?
Correct.
All right.
But I actually like Mason Miller more than him. Most people think Chaplin is, the better prospect that they got in. I think Miller is a better player. But you've got real tackle depth, and that's not something a lot of SEC teams, a lot of college football teams can say.
No, I think people would cut off their right arm for depth right now. Like, I really believe that. It's just, especially along the O-line, man. Like, how many teams actually have it? Like, really, where from 1 to 2, you're not going to lose sleep. There's just not many teams that do it. Really, D-line, too. I mean, you can never have enough of those guys. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great spot to be in. Like, I think the expectations around Auburn are real. Now it's about doing it, right? We've already documented how hard that Week 1 game is and how much they'll probably learn about their team in Week 1 against Baylor. That's massive. I think Baylor's really good. I don't know if everybody else knows that, but I think they're really good. I think Dave Aranda knows they're good. Just visiting with him last week a little bit on the set. But I think there's a lot of reasonable hype coming into this season. Like, and to the point where it's like, can they be in a position to compete for the title? I mean, have they made that kind of a jump? I don't know. I don't know, but it'd be hard for me to say they're not going to be significantly better than they were a year ago.
Well, so many things have to fall into place for that to be a reality for Auburn this year. But as we have described the conference, the 3, maybe 4, maybe 2, even one team that you believe is out front ahead of everybody else, they even have question marks. If it's Texas, Georgia, if it's LSU, if it's all of those teams, they still come with maybe more question marks than they would on a normal year. If Alabama's in there, same thing. And then that giant group of teams in the middle, all could go forward, all could go backwards. We have reasons to believe that they're going to be really good, reasons that we think maybe they might not get to expectations. Auburn, one of those teams. So if more go backward than forward, then that obviously Auburn benefits from that as well. Time will tell, but it's going to – my reoccurring theme yesterday was this is going to be a really fun year in the SEC because there's going to be a lot of games that you're going to go into and say, I have no idea who's getting that game. Home field advantage is going to be massive.
No question.
A lot of the times.
No question.
Which means environments are going to be huge. And it's just going to – I think it's going to make for a really big year and a really fun year in the Southeastern Conference.
I think there's 4 that are a bit of a cut above right now. But I think the gap between those 4 is insanely small. And then there's a bit of a gap between 4 and 5. And in that second tier, I think there's a bunch. I mean, I'm talking a bunch of teams that can cycle up and or fall back to 500. I think there's probably 5 teams in that second tier that could either win the league or miss a bowl game. And Auburn, I think, is in that second tier. It's just, can they eliminate some of the critical errors that they made last year? I would put them alongside Oklahoma, who I think's got a ton of upside, who I really like this year. I think A&M has legitimate depth. I think they have really good personnel on both lines of scrimmage, which gives you a great chance in this league. I think South Carolina could, by season's end, have maybe the best player in the league in Lenor Sellers if he develops the way I anticipate him developing and the supporting cast continues to improve.
Could have 2 of the top 5.
No question. I mean, yeah. I mean, 1 on each side of the ball is a pretty good place to start. That's 4 teams. Who else would I put in that category? I'd put Tennessee in that category. I think Tennessee is still going to be pretty good. I'd probably have them kind of in the middle, maybe to the back half of that tier. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of about it. That's about 5 teams right there that I think could all really cycle up. I think if Florida's schedule wasn't so brutally difficult, I would put them in that category. There's so much quality depth in this league, and it's going to be really fun to watch.
All right, we'll get to a break. Come back with more from day 2 of Digital Drive right here from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, SEC Media Days on Jox.
Live for the College Football Hall of Fame, it is McElroy, Cubelic in the morning, Jox 94.5. Media Day is continuing to roll along. A good day today. If you're looking for, and granted, normally it's, quote, Bama Day is the big day. But I think the collection of coaches, the storylines surrounding these teams, today might be the big one. With Georgia coming to town, Texas coming to town, Arch Manning coming to town, Hugh Freeze already making the rounds, a handful of just really interesting storylines surrounding this collection of teams. So today, I think you can make a strong argument, might be the most intriguing day of media days. And the most intriguing thing that you can do right now, if you're in the market for some jewelry, is head over to Bromberg's. It's just an amazing experience. I have such good relationships with the wonderful people in Bromberg's. I walk in, I feel like I'm going and just seeing friends. Sometimes I'm not even in the market to buy anything. I just want to go say hello because I just enjoy being around them. But second I'm ready to buy something, I know that they're going to point me in the right direction. Point me in the direction of something that's going to retain its value, that will something that will be appreciated, hopefully, not just by my wife, but for multiple generations. It's that experience that you get when you walk in the door, that family experience. There's a reason why they've been in business for nearly 200 years. One of the oldest companies in the country, and it's Bromberg's. They're right in our backyard. Very, very grateful and lucky to have them with such close proximity. And you can go check out the incredible diamonds, the incredible gold, silver, platinum jewelry. It's all right there, and it's all available to you at Bromberg's in Mountain Brook Village and at the Summit.
I want to get to just a little bit yesterday of what Greg Sankey said at the podium that we did not hear on this show. One of the things that took some people by surprise, Greg, was him referencing the SEC as a super conference.
There is joy embedded in what we do, and we take pride in what was accomplished last year. Our first as a 16-member, what I think is a super conference. For all of those of you who like to speculate about super conferences, welcome to one.
Your thoughts?
I mean, it's hard to argue with. I mean, do you not think it's a super conference? I mean, I think with the brands in this league,
16 teams. It's hard not to see it as that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not one, show me one. I mean, just the brands, the viewership, the just massive audience that the SEC garners every single week, and just it's captivating. So it's hard to argue. And you look at the success that transcends the football field. I mean, okay, for a long time the SEC was football, football, football. Everything else came second.
Right.
Now it's SEC's dominant in football, SEC's dominant in basketball, SEC's dominant in baseball, has been for a while, SEC's dominant in softball, SEC's done really well in women's college basketball, SEC has long been dominant in track and field, I mean swimming and diving. Like the SEC across the board now is just so universally strong in all the other Olympic sports as well, so it's just hard to argue with anything he said.
I wouldn't push back on it and would agree with most of what he said. I have an interesting question for you that has been posed to me, and I'm going to give you the break to think about it. Who's the best football player in the Southeastern Conference? Don't answer it now, but do tell our friends that if you're moving out of your home, who you should call.
That'd be Crocker Moving Service. They're a local company owned by an Iraq War veteran, Eric Crocker. Crocker believes in hiring movers you can trust to complete full background checks and run drug tests on every single employee. These are good guys. You can trust them in your home. Whether you get your whole home packed up, move your company headquarters, move across the country, or you just want them to come rearrange your living room. These guys got you covered. They also do deliveries for furniture that you've purchased and need to get to your home. So call or visit them online today for a free quote. The website's CrockerMovingServices.com. That's CrockerMovingServices.com. Support your veterans by choosing Crocker Moving Services for your next move.
All right, we'll come back. Greg will answer that question. We'll have the discussion about it. You can tweet it in at Mac and Cube. You can text it in 205-834-9450. Who do you believe overall just best football player in the SEC? We'll discuss it next live from Digital Drive in the College Football Hall of Fame Day 2 of SEC Media Days on Jox. How you doing?
All right, how about you?
Good to see you. You should just ask him on the air. Just here. Grab the microphone and ask him right here. Come on. No, come on. You can ask him right now. Ask him right now.
What you got?
Oh, man, day 2 of SEC Media Days,
That's
man.
it.
Glad
Do you
to be
need
here.
an interview with Greg? Is that what you need?
We're actually coming for
They
you.
want you.
Oh.
First, we would love you to.
No, I don't. I can't follow Cole.
That's tomorrow. You can interview tomorrow.
Alabama. Auburn.
Yes,
Absolutely.
there you go.
We can-
Perfect.
if you, I don't know if you guys have time. We'll do it on our next break if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Or
Action.
we could just do it live on air.
No, we've
You
done.
can ask the questions on air, and he can record it.
There have been guys that have been. There have been guys that
Why
have done
not? We can do
interviews.
anything we want. It's our show.
There have been guys that have done interviews while on TV on your shows in the past. It's not a good look. It's not something I'd recommend.
Maybe we should wait till break.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll wait till commercial. Absolutely. I'll be glad to do it in commercial break. Yes. Okay. So I asked you the question before we went to break. Who's the best player in the SEC? You think about it for one more moment. I want to see who people are chiming in via Twitter. I want to see if anybody is texting in on just the name you would throw out as the best football player in the SEC. And Greg asked me during the break, there's a lot of context potentially to this. Best draft pick, player you'd start a team with right now. I'm going to say it like this. Best football player in the SEC. They have asked us to do this on television today, so I don't think I'm going to give you mine.
So hard.
But I'm just interested to hear yours. And I think if you went through 3 to 5, yours would we would definitely correlate. It would definitely be there. But I'm just interested in what other people would say and where they would go. Before we get to that, I'll tell you about your CBD store. If you are having issues with arthritis, anxiety, your CBD store can help. If you need a better night's sleep, your CBD store has products for that. Trying to lose weight, the Trim by SunMed is on the shelves now at the largest brick-and-mortar CBD retailer in the world. First company to have USDA certified organic oil supplements. They've gotten the stamp seal on those products. So go check out one of their 3 locations today. Highway 280 by Bailey Brothers, 150 by the Cajun Cleaver. Trustful just off 459, your CBD store where good health hits home. All right.
Best player.
Where would you go?
Dylan Stewart.
Okay.
I think Dylan Stewart,
Great choice.
defensive end at South Carolina, is pound for pound the best football player, probably the best prospect.
Might be the best athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows what Arch Manning or one of these quarterbacks might have to say, but I think he's probably the best. But I think it's a really close call. You know, I honestly would have a harder time maybe going 2 and 3 because my perception of, like, best football player, like, who's the best player? Like, electricity, juice, all, like, be able to beat you in a bunch of different ways. To me, he'd be number 1. If I go beyond that, I think Ryan Williams is on the short list.
Got to be in the discussion.
You know,
yeah.
He's absolutely in the conversation for me. But there's a couple guys that I just can't wait to see what they do in this league. Like, one guy that I think is just flying under the radar in remarkable fashion is KC Concepcion at Texas A&M.
You put us on to him early.
Dude,
and
it's just
you
a
emphasized
football
him
player.
early on, and you have stuck to it. And I'm kind of surprised how few people have. I have also a list. I think we're going to do it on Thursday. Guys you need to know in this league, and just doing interviews yesterday. This list of 5 or 7 guys that I have that a lot of people, when I mentioned their names, were kind of like, "Oh, really? You think he's going to make a big difference?" And I'm like, yeah, dude. Eric Singleton's really good.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to need to know who he is. You know, it's just like there's a laundry list of those kind of guys.
No question.
You know, like Cedric Alexander. People are like, "You really think he's one of the best backs in the SEC?" And I'm
He
like,
can go.
Yes, he is one of the best backs.
Can I give
in
you
the
another
SEC.
one? You might be the only guy that would see it like this. This will not be popular. I'm not even going to try to pretend that it is. But I'm going to operate under the assumption that this guy will not have challenges holding on to the football. But if you want to put a ball in someone's hands and he's going to hold on to it, and you can guarantee me that he's not going to put it on the deck, I think Nate Frazier at Georgia is outrageously special.
Okay.
Like, I think that guy is special. And I know, look, I don't care about protection and how good he is in pass pro. Like, just get him the ball and watch what he does with it. I think that kid is poised for a massive jump this year. Massive. Because I think the identity of the team is going to be more in line with kind of his skill set. I can see him being involved in the passing game. I could see him being involved a little bit on the screen game because they've now lost a couple pieces that they just throw quick ones to. Like, I think that kid is one, like, pound-for-pound football player on the field doing special things. I could see him being in the mix by season's end as well.
Yeah.
Can you see that, or am I too early?
No, I think he has the skill set to be that, honestly, and I think that there are a lot of folks that had a lot of questions about Georgia yesterday, and we haven't had a long conversation about Georgia. Probably should here today. I just have this feeling that Kirby is going to lean back on bully ball, physicality, essentially trying to sort of impose his will. I think there's a large part of that's what he's going back to today. So, are we blessed with a visit or no? We didn't sign up.
No.
Sorry.
Nope.
We didn't make a request.
Accurate.
No Laura Rutledge on the show this year.
There's so many good options, man. Like, I love this question because you can go in so many. Like, Whit Weeks would be on the short list for me.
As a football player?
Like, just a football player. You know, he'd be on the short list for me. Singleton would absolutely be on the short list. Eli Stowers at Vanderbilt would be on the short list. You know, let's get weird for a second. Allow me to get weird for a moment. How you feel
still
about
haven't said mine, by the way.
Parker Brailsford?
I love it.
Is that you?
I mean, you know, I tried to find an offensive lineman,
course.
but he's not that guy. But he deserves to be in the conversation.
So that's not the guy you're going
I think he's
with.
probably. God, I'd really have to just go through the list. I'm trying to think of an offensive lineman that I would have ranked ahead of him in the league right now. I don't think that there's one.
No, he's number one, I think, amongst the
I think
offensive line.
if I named the top 5 offensive linemen in the league, Greg, I think maybe 3 of them would be centers. It's a great center year in the SEC. It really is. So
Colin Simmons is your guy.
You're getting warm.
Anthony Hill? It is Anthony Hill. I know you too well.
Tell me someone who excels further than everybody else in the league, more so than he does at what he's asked to do.
My problem is he's just a bit of a tweener. He's just enough of a tweener, which is a great compliment, by the way. That is not meant to be negative whatsoever. I just don't know exactly where I would use him. Like, on third down, I'm rushing the passer. We know that. Off the ball, I think he's very, very good. I think he's got great sideline-to-sideline speed. I don't think he's the best linebacker in the league, but he could be the most.
Would Whit Weeks be the best linebacker?
I like Whit Weeks a little bit, just with what the havoc Whit Weeks causes. You know, I think it's close. I think he's a better prospect than Whit Weeks. You know, I mean, I think he is.
Yeah, I think that's different flavor ice cream. Do you want a guy that's just seek and destroy, cause problems? That's Whit Weeks.
That's what I like.
Kamikaze pilot. If you want versatility to be able to hurt you in different ways, I think it's Anthony Hill Jr. I mean, he led the league in tackles for loss last year.
Yeah.
He can line up off the edge and rush the passer. He can play off the ball, come downhill, and strike an offensive lineman and physically not just hold up, but be the more violent individual.
Right.
He can play off the ball and get sideline to sideline. I think he is a do-it-all player, probably at a position that not a lot of people place a ton of emphasis on anymore compared to what they did 10 years ago.
Right.
And the way out, it's like when people asked me last year, why do you think Tyler Booker's a top 10 draft pick? Why do you think Tyler Booker's the best offensive lineman in the league? He does more things better at his position that he's asked to do than anybody else. And that's how I view Anthony Hill Jr.
I had no problem with it.
I think Ryan Williams is a better athlete? Absolutely.
Well, sure, yeah.
I mean, is he more dynamic? Of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's not going to impact the game as much because Anthony Hill is going to be in different places to be able to do that on more plays.
I think it's perfectly fair to say Anthony Hill, he's an eraser. I mean, that's what he is. He's an eraser, and those guys are rare. A guy that if you run, you know, pin and pull pitch, he can track it down from the far side, meaning if you're running a sweep to the field and he's into the boundary, he can get there and make that play for 0 or 1 yard gain.
Right.
You know, like he's that kind of guy. So I get it. He can make you right in a lot of ways. Fascinatingly enough, we have yet to name a defensive tackle. In all the guys that we just named, we have not named a defensive tackle. When was the last time in this league you would go through a list of 12 guys, or however many we've listed in this last segment, and not name a defensive tackle?
Yeah, Caleb Banks is the closest one.
He's the closest one, but he's not bad. At least down the stretch he was.
He's not Quentin Williams. He might not even be Javon Kinlaw. He's not Derek Brown. He's not Jonathan Allen. He's a really good player and may grow into being one of those guys we're talking about this year. Needs to do it a little bit more consistently, I think, and he'll be given that opportunity. I think he's a great player. But we're used to naming those guys on every team, and we just don't have it.
It's crazy.
And you wonder what the impact of the lack of playmakers at that position is going to be. I tell you this, I got a list of guys that I think could end up being on that list that nobody's talking about, too, that we can discuss on the other side. We'll keep it rolling here from Digital Drive, SEC Media Days, Day 2. From the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Cubelic, Greg McElroy, Kendrick Faulk, Auburn edge defender, going to join us when we come back right here on Jox 94.5.
McElroy, Cubelic in the morning, Jox 94.5, 10 a.m. here locally in Atlanta from the College Football Hall of Fame. It is Day 2. SEC Media Days, probably one of the more intriguing days, too. I mean, just the collection of teams, Tennessee, Auburn, Georgia, and Texas making the rounds today. Auburn has been a hot topic of conversation here in the last hour or so. Joining us now is Kendrick Faulk, defensive lineman, Auburn Tigers. Kendrick, what's going on, my friend?
Not much, man. Chilling.
The best part is your Auburn buddy right over here, Cole Cubelic.
Yeah.
He's ditching the interview, man. You got to talk to him, dude. You got to talk to him.
Man, he an Auburn guy.
He is. He's an Auburn guy. He believes in it. He loves it, and he loves watching you guys for sure.
Yes, sir.
Look, everything y'all are working on this year, there's a lot of guys on defense that y'all lost off last year's group.
Right.
I loved y'all's defense last year. I thought y'all were rock solid. Called y'all a few times and just thought you guys did a great job at all three levels. You lose some great football players, but you replace them with guys that have just been waiting for their opportunity. How do you feel like those guys that are kind of stepping into those roles, how have they done so far?
Man, they embrace their roles. Like, they come in and they just work hard. They just work every day. And our biggest focus is to, just come in and not only help everybody around you, but just be the best teammate you can be. And then let everything else just fall into place. Like that's what the greats do.
Kendrick, what have you specifically worked on, mainly from a pass rush this year? You've got the stab, you've got the length, which there's a lot you can build sort of around that and being able to utilize that. Right. Is there a specific move, a specific alternate move that you're trying to hone in on for your pass rush this season?
Yeah, man, just I try to focus on 3 moves and just try to perfect those 3 moves and have maybe 1 or 2 counters off of those moves. So yeah, I just been working on just perfecting 2 or 3 moves and just creating counters off of those.
Looking at how kind of the interior is kind of coming together this year.
Right.
Like, who are some guys on the interior of the defensive line? Because we talk about Bobby Travis all the time. Mm-hmm. And he's always like, no, it's not his name. Like, his nickname's Bobby, no? Like, that's what he wants to be called Bobby. So I'm like, dude, I'm telling you. Like, I know these things. So you got
97.
Bob. 97. You don't give him a name yet. All right. So you got Bobby on the inside. You got a couple other guys. But curious, how do you think that interior rotation is going to kind of work out this year?
Man, I really don't know. I mean, we have so many guys that could just come in and start right now. Like, we have our first, second, and third can start for Auburn right now. So, I mean, I do think Malik Blockton is going to have a really good year this year. I mean, he's one of those guys that came in last year. He was a big part of our defense last year, especially on first and second down. I feel like he's going to have more of a pass rush presence when it comes to third down. So he's one of the guys that I'm most excited about returning this year.
Talking with Auburn defender Kendrick Faulk at SEC Media Days. We asked Connor Lou this question earlier. When things get a little bit out of hand, bottom of the pile, somebody's maybe chirping a little bit too much.
Right.
Eye gouge, ear hole, or punch? Which are you going with?
Sure.
Sometimes people need a little extra.
Man, I'm just diving in.
It's like elbow?
Elbow,
knee?
all of it.
You'll go anything.
Yeah, we going anything.
Okay. I like it. But you're not afraid to give a little extra to somebody that's running their mouth too much.
Yes, sir.
Is there a specific offensive lineman that runs his mouth too much in this league that sticks out to you? See, we're usually out of breath, so we can't talk trash.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't really encounter too much.
I used to love the D lineman that talked the whole game, and I'm like, dude, I'm out of breath. I can't do it right now. Like, I'm just trying to get back to the huddle.
I'm about to say, everybody be tired, man. We be trying to get at it.
Is there a guy in practice that you tussle with? Pass rush, inside drill a little bit, like a guy that you end up going at it a little bit more, a little extra?
Jeremiah Wright.
I knew that was going to be it.
Yeah.
Jeremiah's literally everything. Connor told us that he's the pretty boy, he's the bully, he's the funny guy. Like,
man,
he checks every box.
Jeremiah is everything. Like, he's everything. Like you just said, he's the pretty boy, the funny guy, the guy that gets on your nerves. He's the old head of the whole group. Yeah, Jeremiah, my dude, though.
Man, Kendrick, thanks for taking some time with us, man. Wish you the best of luck this year. We like watching you play football, so keep it going.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Kendrick Faulk, Auburn defender, joining us here at SEC Media Days, Day 2. He's wrapping you up. He's saying you got to go. So
I bet.
We appreciate you stopping by. It's very nice to meet you.
Appreciate it, man. Have fun today.
There we go. That Auburn defense, Greg, that we've talked about. Kendrick Faulk going to be a big part of it this fall. He's got the length. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Got the wingspan.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear them talk about Malik Blockton, though. That was kind of nice to hear because we're familiar with what Bobby Jameson Travis did last year. I thought he did a nice job down the stretch. I mean, second half of the season was a different dude. But I am kind of curious, like Zykevious Walker. I mean, you got some veteran guys in there. But Blockton, I'm real happy to see that that's a guy that they're feeling pretty bullish on, because the interior rotation is something I'm real curious about when it comes to the Tigers.
Do I need to help you get set up? Like, do you need a lift? You got to flip the thing.
I got
there
it.
You go.
Hey, listen, man. This is what I'm telling you, Cole. I brought my own Uber. I need no help. Like, this. I'm ready to roll, dog. Like, I rolled right in here, moved my little chair out to the side. I got a light on here. So for the people at home, man, this is a scooter wheelchair sleigh edition.
Yeah.
And you got that thing
tricked out,
laid back too. I'm a little concerned that you might be popping a wheelie.
No, I need some leg extenders on here.
They don't make that for guys that are 6'8"?
No,
is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, they'll make them kind right there, man.
Like, we complain about flying. Ron Slade joining us, by the way, does radio on our sister station in Nashville, played basketball at Tennessee. We haven't even mentioned Tennessee today.
What?
I know.
On Tennessee Day?
It's Auburn Day. We do radio in Birmingham, Ron.
This is true. This is true.
But we, like Greg and I, complain about flying.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
You dealing with airplanes.
It's a headache. I think the biggest headache of all is the people that, especially if you fly Southwest and you're not on the Rapid Rewards program, you can get on up there in A1 to 15. Like the people that go get the exit row and the extended exit row, and they see you coming down the aisle, and they try not to make eye contact. See, I've come up with a method that I walk very, very slow, like the Undertaker, and I continue to look at them until they connect eyes. And if they don't, then I act like I dropped something right there by them and then pick it up and look at them like, come on, dog, you see how big I am. You just going to take this seat?
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, it ain't right, man. It ain't right. But
Greg and I have had some conversations about Tennessee, and like we all applauded the situation with Nico. We all thought Josh did the right thing, but with that comes a little bit of change in expectations. I don't know if a lot of Tennessee fans are following suit with that.
Right.
Are they?
You know what? I think the way it happened and the way it rolled out with getting behind hype with him handling it the way they did, the university handling it the way they did, it kind of forced them into it, if that makes sense. You could have been by choice or by force. This was forced into by getting on and getting behind Tennessee. They always want to get something behind. Now, my whole thing is, can you remember this when the fall rolls around? The same energy you have of supporting the program and saying, hyper, yes, that's it, man. You stand on solid ground, 10 toes down. We're backing you. And then you go out there and you drop an egg against Georgia in week 3. Is everybody still having that same energy? Is everybody still with Aguilar? Are they running him out of town? Are they peeking and seeing what Nico is doing? So all of those things, I mean, you know how it is in the SEC. Y'all played in this. It's week to week, man. And so I think everybody's on board right now. It's just how long does that memory hold up? Yep. That's gonna be the question.
Are we sleeping on them? Like I feel like Tennessee is a team that I thought I had a great feel for who they are, and now as we've gotten a little closer, I feel like they're among the teams I know the least about.
Yeah.
Not because I'm not studying, but because I don't feel like there's answers.
No, and I think you ain't wrong with that, but I think the question lies in you knowing who Heupel is. As soon as you hear Heupel, you think offense automatically. Something's going to be buzzing. They're going to get the ball downfield. They're going to hit the deep balls, get it out to the boundaries, let them get loose with it. But the defense is what's been carrying them.
Yep.
So Tim Banks, what he's been able to do, I think that's the unanswered questions. So having those guys like the way they struck with Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyde, all of these guys, are you able to go and manufacture those explosive plays again with Heupel, which they haven't been able to do, whether that be the quarterbacks, Joe Milton, Nico not being able to hit the deep ball, guys like Mike Matthews coming back, being able to lead up and be able to be that 5-star guy that you see at the Alabamas, at the LSUs, at the Auburns, so forth in Florida and so forth and so on. But if they can live up to it, I think those questions get answered. But they're going to continue to be questions when you have guys that are unproven with potential coming in and an offense that's all we hear about is all we saw is big plays, but that was 4 years ago. It's like, where is it at now? So the defense being something that's a staple in the run game, that's not the explosive fireworks that we're used to seeing and that you want to see with Tennessee. So I think that's where the questions are always going to lie until we see it.
Where are you guys on your show in Nashville and the majority of your listeners in Nashville on how many teams are sort of at the top of the conference right now? We've talked about how it might be Texas, Bama, Texas, Bama, Georgia, maybe LSU's in there. Mm-hmm. Who do you guys look at as the real contenders to maybe win the SEC this year?
Yeah, of course, Texas. I think it's you want to put Alabama in there because you know what Kalen DeBoer is when you get a quarterback that can, play his system. Ty Simpson can spin it, so you want to thrust him up there. And I think a lot of it lies with schedule. But Georgia's another one, Texas. LSU's supposed to be there. I mean, we keep hearing about Nussmeier. I feel like I'm the only guy when we have people come on our show that's kind of out on him, and I'm waiting. But I was also out on Jaden Daniels when I first saw him, and then midway in the season he turned the corner. The next year came back, had crazy weapons, and they got weapons down there with Barryon Brown transferring. So they should be in the upper echelon. But I think Texas, Alabama. I'm gonna go. I kind of expect Florida somehow, man, with Lagway, with what he did, to have something explosive for Billy Napier to get. Like, you got recruits. He was able to retain talent, which is crazy nowadays. So can he turn that into something? But I go 3 or 4 teams, man, and that's kind of it right now. Even with, having the quarterbacks in the SEC this year that we can kind of tag along with, it's different than last year. I feel like the quarterback conversation was null and void in the SEC last year, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
Not with all this talent.
Finally, when you kind of look at where Tennessee lands in the spectrum, what satisfies Tennessee fans? Because I feel like they want to beat Bama.
Whiskey is what satisfies.
That satisfies everybody. So I know they want to beat Bama. I know they want to beat Georgia. I know they want to get to the playoff.
Yeah.
But is there a section of fans that are not content with those hurdles every year? Is there a section of fans that's like, this is 98 all over again, we got to start winning natties? What do they want? I
think they want to be, what you saw last year, knowing that we talked about the explosive offense with Nico not being able to hit guys consistently, to be able to get in that playoff picture, to be knocking on the door year in and year out. And then when you're playing those big 3, Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, you got to get 2. You have to get 2. And how do you lose that third one if you lose that third one? You know what I'm saying? If you can get all 3, hell yeah, let's roll.
Yeah.
You can get a mulligan with an Arkansas game like you had last year. That's cool. But you got to be in the picture going down the stretch to be able to close out and try to get and knock on the door of the playoff picture.
One of the things that we have a hard time identifying, I think there's this cluster of teams in the middle. I mean, it could be 10 teams that are all about the same. Tennessee's one of those. Florida, Auburn, Missouri. There's a bunch of them. Ole Miss is in there. Mm-hmm. Do you specifically see 1 or 2 teams that's definitively going backwards this year?
That's tough.
Because it doesn't feel like anybody's set to take a massive step backwards.
Right.
And not everybody's going to win 9 games.
No, they can't.
This year, this time of year, they do. Yeah, everybody's 9-3.
Everybody
right
has
now,
that.
Yeah, everybody's
10 is even the ceiling yet.
Yeah.
It's 9. Yeah, everybody's going to get 9. I don't know, man. I think, man, Missouri could be that team. Drink's been quiet this year. This has been one of the years that I haven't heard much from. Lane yesterday was quiet. You also got an opportunity to watch his quarterback, and this young man is so smart. I'm trying to figure out will they get in his way because it's totally opposite ends of between him and Jackson Dart. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be interesting to watch. To answer your question, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think everybody, like Greg said, 9 wins is the ceiling for him right now. But the ones that take a step back can't be South Carolina, can't be Florida, can't be LSU, Mississippi State.
They can't go backwards from where they were last year.
This is true. If you're in the hole, you can't dig deeper. They already took the shovel from them, right? So, yeah, I guess maybe A&M. I mean,
Kentucky's the team that people point to. And they didn't have a great year last year either, but a lot of question marks.
Are they on anybody's radar? Are they a concern of anybody right now?
I'm sure they're a concern of Kentucky fans.
Yeah, that's about it. But
hey, you got a quarterback that's defeated Alabama that's played in this league. You've got a coach that's proven in this league.
Yeah. It's also a coach that lost his best friend, too.
This is a rivalry, isn't it? I think we're seeing
just
what the Tennessee-Kentucky rivalry is
absolutely,
right now.
Absolutely. Okay. Another one, though, Vanderbilt.
They're not going backwards.
They're not going backwards? Even with revenge on the mind of opponents in the SEC.
They're still going to be a
How
handful.
many games did you win playing basketball because of revenge? Come on, you know it's not a real thing.
A lot.
It's not, but man, it's different when you walk. It's different when you walk in the opponents and you just beat them and you talked about it. That's a little different. Okay, we'll see. We're gonna have to revisit this.
I'm not saying that means that they beat Bama again automatically, but I just think that I think they're not going backwards.
Okay.
I think they upgraded the offensive line. The whole defense is back. I think
health is key, man. Health is a tricky thing.
That's every team.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I just think it's different, man, when you walk in there with that target on your back. I'm a huge fan of Diego Pavia. Huge fan. But also, man, you got to understand what's echoing in your locker room is echoing in other people's locker room, too.
It's fair.
The SEC darling was Diego Pavia. In order to take that mantle and knock it off his head, you got to go beat him.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to do that.
And if you don't, he's going to let you know.
Absolutely. And he should. He should. It's going to be fun, though,
It's
man.
going to be a really fun game.
Yes, it is.
I think home field advantage is going to be massive this year.
Yeah.
Because
it
so
will
many
be.
games just look like you're not going to be able to know who's going to win.
Yeah.
It's always so big. This year, though, especially, there's just not a huge gap between the best teams and the average teams. That's the thing that's interesting about
What's
it.
your thoughts on Texas, man?
I love them.
Yeah,
I think they're the
team.
best. I think they're the best team right now on paper. But it's the game's not really played on paper.
No.
Like, did they have questions? Yeah, offensive line to me is a question. I know Cole's not worried about it, but I'm a little.
No, it's a question.
I'm a little concerned. I think Arch, frankly, for as talented as he is, there's a question there. I mean, you get hit a couple times. Is he the same guy that he is in practice and in shorts and a t-shirt? I don't know. I think there's a question for everybody. Like we've all made the mistake dating back to 2015, and I'll never do it again, by overreacting to a small sample size with Jeremy Johnson.
Yeah.
And while that small sample size was a thing of beauty, he torched Arkansas in the half game that he started there in 2013, 2014, whatever year it was, torched them.
Yeah.
And everybody lost their mind, and then the second thing started to go sideways, he couldn't recover. I don't think that's the case with Arch because of who he has in his group,
right.
who the guys are that he can lean on, who both are likely to have gold jackets at some point, and just the perspective that they can provide. So I don't think it's likely that that's something that could affect him, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know until you do it.
That's
like,
right.
You just don't know. You get hit a couple times and you change, it happens.
You probably saw a bunch of dudes knock down a lot of shots in practice.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden,
lights get on.
Somebody gets in your face.
A
That's
little
a different deal.
Yeah. The lights get bright. You talk about people taking a step back. Who can take a step forward? Can Arkansas take a step forward with Taylor Green?
I like
Pittman?
Arkansas.
I
think
love
they're always going to be dangerous with Taylor Green. He's that good. I mean, he's
going to be better.
A dude.
He's going to be a better decision maker this year. He's not going to be as high risk.
Right.
I lack confidence in the guys around him.
I don't know if they can string it together, but I do think that
if they get Ole Miss week 2, watch out because they might be 4-0 with Notre Dame coming to town.
Yeah.
And that place 4-0 with Notre Dame coming to town. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, might as well book my ticket now. I'm going to be calling that one.
Petrino and Pittman safe. They walking hand in hand in this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think another team that I think is going forward is Bama, and people will look last. I think they're going to be really good. I think they've upgraded the receiver talent tremendously. And that's no slight to the guys that were there last year. I just don't think those guys are next-level guys.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this group scares me to death. Kobe Prentice was a rock-solid piece. Kendrick Law was a really good player. But now with the addition of Isaiah Horton, who I think is a Sunday guy.
That's my young fellow right there.
His length, his size, being that presence at X to allow now Ryan Williams to play his more traditional Z is massive with Jerm in the middle. The one position group I'm concerned about is tight end. I mean, I'm concerned about that group, but for the most
part,
both
know they don't. It's not a
you can coach around it. You can coach around it. I think defensively they're going to have a much better understanding of how to, because they're in the first 6 games of the year. The linebackers they couldn't track the ball. They weren't used to it.
Looked like it was guessing.
It's a different game. It's a different style. I mean, people are like, "What's it like?" I'm like, it's like going from, and I used this example for LSU yesterday too. LSU, to go from what they did under Matt House to what they did last year under Blake Baker is the equivalent of going from Les Miles, fullback, 2 tight ends, to spread it out 2019 with Joe Burrow in one season.
Yeah.
Those are completely different philosophies, and you're expecting it to be seamless in 1 year, and I think it takes time, but you saw them really come together as the season went along. Depth along the defensive line also a slight concern.
Yes.
Slight concern about a guy being able to create his own shot in the pass rush. Slight concern there. I think Bama's going to be really good. I might be drinking the Kool-Aid. Totally okay if I am. I think they're a national championship contender. I really believe that.
So they top 2, top 3 in the SEC.
I have them.
Maybe even
I
one.
have them 2 alongside Texas.
Okay.
Those are the 2 teams.
That much believe in Texas.
Those 2 tied at 2?
No, and I think Texas has fewer questions.
Okay.
I think Bama has a few more.
Okay.
So
but I
Georgia
think
3.
I would have Georgia 3, LSU 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
More confident in what is it, Gunnar Stockton?
Yes.
Or Ty Simpson?
Gunner's a little different skill set.
Yeah, but you got to roll him out there on Saturday. Who you betting
more of a runner.
You know, here's how I would answer that. 1 game, Gunnar Stockton. 1 season, Ty Simpson.
The growth that you expect him to have.
If you're asking me for a guy to operate my offense over the course of a year, it's Ty Simpson. Do I need a bulldog to just go win me a game? I'll take Gunnar Stockton.
Okay.
He might get himself knocked out of the game.
He's Connor Shaw. Like if you remember Connor Shaw at South Carolina, that's who he is.
Yeah. And
like,
he's a great football. He's an
rock
all-time
solid,
South Carolina
like
football player.
rock solid college football player. Little limited, I think, from a skill set standpoint, but was a really good, solid college football player. I think Ty Simpson has NFL possibilities if he can just be a dude.
Yeah.
Be an alpha.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be an alpha.
He got the arm talent, too.
Oh, he can throw it now.
Good gosh,
that part
man.
right there that he's describing, Gunnar Stockton is that.
He already got that.
Oh, he's an alpha.
It looked like it. When he came off the sidelines in that game, I was like, whoa.
We were on the sideline doing the megacast, and we were all taken aback. That energy just went.
You could see it.
I mean, it was different.
And I'm watching it on TV,
it was
exactly.
different.
Yeah.
And, like, I talked to Roman about it later, and he said, did you hear what Jalen Walker said to me after the game on set? And I said, no. And he said, I asked him, what did y'all think when Gunnar Stockton was announced he was coming in? And he said, that's my quarterback.
I say a whole lot.
Like,
no, he's a dude.
I say a whole lot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's tough.
That was
his
the guy on
country.
defense last year.
He's as country as the day is long, and, like, they love him. You know what I mean? Like, I think he comes from a town of about 900 people.
Yeah,
that's beautiful for him.
He's a genuine dude.
No Lambos or nothing to worry about him.
I don't think
you got to worry about that with
something
him.
tells me he's driving.
Give him a year as a starter. You never know.
I think it's a real safe bet he's driving a truck. I don't know what brand, I don't know what type, but I think that's a real safe bet.
I think I saw an article. He's driving like his uncle or brother's truck or something.
Oh, that's
beautiful.
Oh, that's Varsity Blues. I'm with that. I'm with that all day long, baby.
Slade, thanks for hanging out.
No doubt,
with us,
man. Appreciate you guys.
Scoot on out of here, man.
I'm out of here, man. Hey, mute me so I don't blow the system.
Don't knock over the
on YouTube for those that don't know. Well, let's get it. There you go.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Go backwards. Show us how this works.
Does it have a horn?
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Okay, there we go.
Look at that thing. Oh, look at the turning radius on that.
That's nice.
Wow.
Look at that. Oh,
wow. Oh, my goodness. He can do
did
donuts.
Don make you the license plate? Yeah. Oh, I got it. Yeah.
It's a bedazzled on a note card that says Slay.
So proud of it, too. We'll get the chair. We got it, Slay. Thank you. All right, let's get to a break. Back with more from Media Taste next on Jox. Welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, live from SEC Media Days, Digital Drive, Day 2, right here on Jox 94.5. JoxFM.com. You can listen there, download the app in the App Store, iPhone, Android, all those, get that for free. If you missed anything from yesterday, if you missed Jackson Arnold today, Hugh Freeze today, Ron Slay today, Kendrick Faulk today, Connor Liu today. Am I missing anybody? Ian Fitz Simmons today. Anybody else I'm missing from today that hopped on? You can get those on the app. You can go click YouTube, watch live on the app, and check everything out there. Are you a professional golfer now? Okay. I just like the random conversations on there.
So random.
People have no idea what we're doing, what we're talking about. But you should talk about Lenor Flooring.
Well, Fu and his guys do a great job, and I've always been grateful to the experience that I've had dealing with Fu and being around Fu. He's going to do an amazing job in your home. The floors that they have are off the charts nice. Like that Core-Tech flooring by Shaw, it's waterproof, pet-proof, kid-proof, super durable, beautiful flooring too. And right now you get $10 off per box if you order it from Shannara Flooring. It's the time to do it. They have 40,000 square feet of that Core-Tech flooring in stock. They're trying to give it away at $10 off per box. Totally recommend going and checking out their entire inventory in person if you'd like, but you can also go online with Shannara Flooring at fooandyou.com.
There's always interesting characters here. And there was a radio station, I believe, in Tennessee, and Mark Henry is now one of the co-hosts.
I saw him walking earlier. You guys were losing your mind, and I respectfully had to ask the question, who is Mark?
Well, because, number one, he's probably 100 pounds lighter than he used to be.
Okay. And you said he was a world strongman.
Former world strongest man. He's an Olympian.
Okay.
Power lifter.
Power lifter, okay.
And then I believe WWE heavyweight champion.
I vaguely remember him in the WWE. I think it was a little bit before my time when I started to really watch WWE. I was probably 12, 13, 14, and I started to watch it. He was probably in, mid-90s?
Yeah, but
early
then
90s?
He had like a little run after that. I want to say it was 2002, 4-ish. I don't know, John, maybe you can help us because he was like Nation of Domination when he first came in, and then that sort of ended. And then I think he kind of made like a quick little comeback and kind of rose to the top. Not sure. I don't remember him that. I just know he was there, and he did a lot after I sort of was out and didn't watch it very much.
He pulled a Randy Watkins. He was sexual chocolate for a while.
I do remember that. Yeah.
So what years you think, John?
He started mid-'90s, but he kept going at least through the turn of the century.
Yeah, I probably just missed him. I was probably in 7th grade when I went through my WWE phase, so 12, 13, thereabouts. Definitely enjoyed it, but it was more The Rock, Stone Cold, that era, more so than any of the guys beforehand. Knew all those guys, and I do remember, now that you're showing some pictures, I do remember him. I just don't recall being a huge fan.
2011, he was World Heavyweight Champion.
2011?
That's what it says.
Yes. He had the Hall of Pain. He had the Hall of Pain.
So 15
what was his
years
finishing
ago.
move, Damien?
It was something basic.
It
was something basic.
Basic.
It was. It was just like a regular old slam.
What did you think of his feud with Jack Swagger?
It was lame because Jack Swagger sucked. He just wasn't good.
I don't think I don't remember much about him, but I don't remember him being extremely dynamic.
No.
I got to get a picture with him and I have to find the other photo though. I have a picture of I met him at Health South when I had a broken foot at Auburn, and I went. This is when I was probably
I think I remember you telling me this story.
I was like 305, 307-ish.
Over.
I was the strongest guy on the team.
Under.
And so I meet Mark Henry, and Greg, I promise you, width-wise, he's 2 of me. And I was almost 310 pounds.
Yeah.
And I just,
Big
you knew
boy.
he was a massive dude, but standing next to him, I literally could not believe how big the dude was.
So how he would just lift people up and just throw them?
I
what
think
was
it was the world's strongest slam.
He did the torture rack for a while.
Yeah.
You got
took that from
I'm
Luger?
telling you, you do the world's strongest man stuff, dude. That's a different level.
Oh
yeah.
Literally no
all right,
way.
pushing weight in the weight room, pound for pound, I'm sure Cole was as strong as anybody on the team. I feel real good.
But I couldn't do the stuff they were doing.
No, I feel real good about being able to keep up. As a 225-pound guy, I could keep up in the weight room with a lot of the guys that were, bigger and stronger than me. Those guys put football players to shame.
Oh, it's stupid
with
those
their
guys.
strength.
It's like a 500-pound boulder, and they're carrying it around.
The
And you're just
hand,
like,
but the
what?
hand. The thing that blows my mind with those guys, you used to think they're fat. No, it's all core. That's all core. They're not fat.
I don't know about all core.
A lot of core.
Yeah.
With those guys. I mean, they take their shirts off. They have six-packs, and yet they have beer bellies. And the beer bellies are six-packs. And I'm telling you, I'm dead serious. And then you the thing that always blew my mind is the hand strength. Like, we had a guy in the NFL named Wayne Thomas. He was our right tackle. He played at Hawaii. Big dude.
I'm going to ask him. Hold on.
And his hand strength was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And he could hold 40-pound dumbbells at the end for an infinite amount of time. Like, he would just sit there and hold them without even thinking about it. It was absolutely incredible how strong some of these guys are.
All right, so I got him. Mark Henry. Are you?
Hey, Mark, Greg McElroy. Nice to meet you, man.
Take those right there, and then this will be yours right here. All right, what station are we with right now, Mark?
Austin 1300 is on.
Okay, got you. Now, we were just talking about your wrestling days. Peak weight for Mark Henry. What was the most you ever weighed?
440. I'm 325 now.
You do not look 325, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm working on it.
It's an impressive 325.
I'm trying to go the opposite direction.
Trust me,
you don't see many.
I'm with you. I'm
70-year-old,
too.
400-pound dudes walking around.
Okay, go back to some of the world's strongest man weightlifting, powerlifting things. If you had to give somebody one lift accomplishment that you would deem most impressive in your life, what would that be?
I would say in strongman, I lifted the Apollon's wheels, which is a fixed bar that's 377 pounds, and the handle is 3 inches. And it create when you pull it, if you're able to get it off the ground, it creates centrifugal force. So something that doesn't rotate is going to make you go back. And I was able to do it 3 times.
You cleaned it?
Yeah, I cleaned it and pressed it over my head. And there was 2 other people had lifted in history, John Davis and Norbert Szymanski. And when I told my coach that I was going to lift it 3 times, I was going to lift it 2 other times for the other people that had lifted it. He said, "Hey, let's just focus on lifting it 1 time, Mark." I said, "No," and I've always been the guy that tried to put the mustard on the hot dog. So
there you go.
You know, I'm down to entertain.
Did you have multiple finishing moves during your wrestling career?
I did. I had a splash. I had the World's Strongest Slam, and I used to do torture rack.
There we go.
So I'm looking at some of these numbers, powerlifting, and 953 pounds on the squat. That's the best you ever did?
Drug-free and equipment-free. That was an equipment-free match. Contest. No, only a belt. No knee wraps. No,
okay, so equipment
no squat suits.
Free would be the knee wrap.
What they call raw
yeah.
lifting.
Oh.
And I squatted 1,006. I benched 601, which I came in dead last in the bench with 600. I was the worst bencher of all time.
What was the heaviest bench?
That was a world champion.
What was it? 600 was what was the heaviest bench?
Like 722, I think, was the highest at that time.
So was it one of those deals where the dude was so barrel-chested that he only really had like 3 inches to go up and down? Yeah,
just all tricep.
Yeah. But I was also very rare. You find somebody that could squat and deadlift. You know, so that was my blessing is I was able to deadlift over 900 pounds.
I want to put this in perspective for a moment. Like, I was the strongest player on the Auburn football team at the time that I met you at Hell South, and my bench was 495, and I squatted 620. And you basically benched what I squatted, essentially. Like, that's
and was the worst bencher in the field, according to him.
Right, I was the worst.
Yeah.
My arms are real long.
Yeah.
So it's like when I pushed, I had to push like
a long way.
A foot. when these guys were pushing like 3 inches and 4 inches.
Oh, we always had those tackles that were like 6'8", 6'7", and they could power clean and they could squat, but then on the bench they had a wingspan and
couldn't bench a leg.
310, 305. Yeah. There's a long way to go.
And there's a lift called the Thomas Inch was the guy that did the lift. It's a dumbbell that weighs 172 pounds. It's got a fixed handle as well, 2.5 inches. And I'm the only person still that cleaned it and pressed it overhead. And, like, those are the things that I feel like are the most impressive things that I've done. But people wouldn't know those things because, you know, it's like you remember the movie Conan? And he traveled the world collecting steel, taking swords. Like, I was one of those guys that was able to do that. Like, I was good in all the lifting events, and it wasn't a challenge for me no more. So I started traveling, lifting all of the things that were things that people deemed to be the standard. You know, I went to England and lifted the Denny stones, and I lifted the Africa stone, the inch bell, the Apollon's wheels, Phalanx fingers, like everything that you can imagine. I went and lifted it. There were a couple of things that I didn't lift, but out of respect for the people that I just felt like it would be. I knew I could lift it.
Sure.
So it wasn't going to help none for me to lift the Venture stone when Thomas Venture was such an important man to strength sports. I went to Canada to lift the McCaskill's anchor. They wouldn't let me do it. It was in a museum. And McCaskill actually died after he lifted that because when they dropped it, the anchor pierced him in the side and in his liver.
Oh my gosh.
And he ended up dying from it. So they were like, no,
we're not
going to let you lift that.
Now, all the strongman lifts, like, I'm not trying to say any are easy or not difficult, but what's one that's low-key crazy more difficult than they might look when we're watching those guys do them on television?
I think the yoke is where you have to pick up a stone and lift it over a bar. It's a lot harder than it's a lot harder than it looks.
Impossible. Like, but there's no
the
grip.
I don't know how you grip it.
Some people use tack, the sticky stuff,
like pitchers
but still it's round. There's no handle on it,
right.
You know. So you have to be flexible enough to get in a situation where you can hug it and pull it to you, and then lift it, and then you have to like be able to push it up some over the bar.
Yeah,
it's just there's no amount of leverage. There's really not much that you can do other than just muscle that thing up. There's a technique that everybody follows, but it's all out the window when you get there and realize it's just you and that ball.
And then you do it 5 times. It's like, all right, do one.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
We're talking with Mark Henry, SEC Media Days, now a part of 1300 The Zone in Austin.
Who's flagship channel of the University of Texas.
There you go.
Very good.
So you played football in high school. I remember hearing about this when you were in wrestling. I got to know how that went because I can't imagine you were blocked very often.
No, I had a lot of troubles with my wrist in high school. I broke my wrist when I was a sophomore, and I probably should have went to Health South or somewhere back during that time. We just put some ice on it, and, you know, I let it heal up, and I was one of those guys, would you ever see the big club on your hand?
Oh, yeah.
So even though I was like, you know, a good player, you know, it wasn't like I was All-American or nothing like that.
All right, so I've had a chance. I have a good friend that does some wrestling podcasts, and I've met some of the old wrestlers through him, talked to some of the guys, and consistently the guy that they say behind the scenes nobody messed with was Ron Simmons. And you were in the Nation of Domination with Ron. Did you two ever tussle?
No.
Backstage?
No, I respected the hell out of Ron.
Well, of
Ron
course, but I didn't know if things might have gotten sideways.
No, not at all. Ron was like a lot of our teacher. Like, you know, it was like master's class being with Ron.
But was it also known, like, don't cross the line with Ron?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
everybody knew that.
Yeah.
Like, in the dictionary on demand, I think is a picture of Ron Simmons in the thinker pose. Like, Ron was like, bro, there's only 2 people I think now, or maybe 3 in the Ring of Honor at Florida State.
I hear about you hear folk tales of him as a football player at Florida State, and it's like.
So I'm gonna tell you what I saw with my own eyes. Like, I saw Ron do 20 reps with 315 in the bench. 315, 20 reps.
We got offensive linemen doing 20 of 225 in the combine.
And endurance.
Right.
Like, man, I'm telling you, you go get the best guys in college football today, and have them go try it.
They're not getting 20 on 315.
It might be about 5 or 6 guys out of 30 top guys that could do that.
No, not 20 on 315.
And he played 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's a level of strength and he was an in-between guy. He should have been a great outside end, but they played him at nose because he was so strong that you needed to have somebody that played. You know, he was like Aaron Donald back then.
Yeah.
But Aaron Donald would have probably played in back then, or they'd have tried to make him lighter and move him to linebacker.
Get way inside, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, what's his stature? Really, because wrestling weight sometimes you don't really know. Like, how big was Ron really?
Ron like 6'3", and he was short on the shorter side. So 6'2", 6'3" at 255, 260. You couldn't play defensive tackle today because the guys are so huge.
Right.
But, you know, Aaron Donald, being an anomaly at 285, was able to do it. But
all you got to do is see him with his shirt off and know how he does it.
You see Aaron Donald and you go, okay, that guy's different than
Yeah.
everybody else.
Right.
But there's not many 265-pound two techniques.
For sure.
You know, playing in the NFL.
If there is, they're going backwards.
Yeah,
So.
no doubt.
Hey, Mark, thanks for hanging out with us,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate
I know
it,
it's
man.
short
I
notice. This is
appreciate
really
it.
cool. I know a lot of our listeners
Greg
appreciate
introduced
it, too.
himself like I don't know who he is.
Well, I got to. I've never met you before. It's great to meet you, man.
Worlds collide here. He didn't know.
That's
So,
it. Just Texas boys hanging out. That's all it is.
I'm telling you, man. I walked. It's like you walk. Like Hell South, they had all the pictures, and it was like Jack Nicholas, Bo Jackson, and all these guys have been in there. And like Kajana Carter had just come through, and you don't ever expect to see like Mark Henry walking in there. And I remember the girl that took me down there. I was like, I have to get a photograph with him. And she's like, well, he's leaving. And I'm like, well, then we're leaving too. We got to go.
We got to go.
And he was so nice. Took the picture. We talked for a few minutes, and he was like, oh, what do you lift? And this and that. And I was like, I don't even want to tell you that. Like, it's not going to impress you.
I tell you, man, like football has been great to me. My cousin, Kevin Henry, played for Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
He lives here in Atlanta.
You should have just said
I'm
Derek.
going to try to get together with him.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't doubt it. I read on his Wikipedia page that somebody said that we were related, but I don't. You know, I never met him before. So
the strength numbers would agree.
Yeah, I would have to see who his family
is,
where his family came from.
But man, we got to get to a break. Thank you so much, Mark.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
Mark Henry, world's strongest man. It's never former world's strongest man.
No.
It's always just world's strongest man. Heavyweight champion. We'll be back with more from Media Days next. Welcome back in. SEC Media Days, Day 2 here from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas on tap for today. I'll be at the desk for SEC Network following this until 4:30. Feinbaum after that. So got a lot of coverage coming your way from Atlanta. Don't forget about our friends at Game Day Men's Health. If you are feeling on edge, if you're lacking sleep, lacking energy, Game Day Men's Health wants to help you today. You can go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. And this is what they're going to do. Sign up for the free consultation. You get the free PSA test, free testosterone test. They're going to find out where your baseline health is and then present the different options that they have for you. Testosterone replacement, weight loss, peptide replacement, all that available at Game Day Men's Health. And the best news is save 10% on any service they offer when you mention Mac and Cube when you walk in the front door. This is Game Day Men's Health, holistic approach to health and wellness, minimal upfront cost for the programs they offer. Just go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today to get started. We wrap up Day 2 of Media Days next on Jox. Again, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. 10:54 here in Atlanta, College Football Hall of Fame. Day 2, SEC Media Days, Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. Going to be another hot one in Alabama, even though we're in Georgia. Don't forget about our friends at Train. Don't let the heat and humidity get to you. Keep your family comfortable with an affordable Train cooling system. They've been recognized as America's most trusted brand 11 consecutive years, and they're the official cooling partner here at Jox. Find a comfort specialist near you at train.com. It's hard to stop a train. McElroy having important conversations as we speak, trying to wrap up day 2 of SEC Media Days. Going to hear from Steve Sarkisian today. Interested to hear kind of what he has to say about Arch Manning. Obviously, Arch Manning going to be here as well. The circus that follows him, you would anticipate, is going to be one that we've seen before, but not in recent years. Maybe Johnny Manziel-esque, maybe Tim Tebow-esque, but obviously there's going to be a lot of attention around the Texas quarterback. We haven't talked a ton of Tennessee today. I hadn't really talked a ton of Texas today. And it's something that I intend to do a little bit later on the SEC Network, and I know the guys on three-man front will do after us, but should get the conversation, should be a part of people talking about who can win this league and the team that maybe stands out in front of a few others from a roster perspective, talent perspective. I think the Longhorns going to be there. Do you think the Longhorns have the most talented roster in this league right now, Greg?
I think they have the fewest questions. I think they have the most star power and the fewest questions. So, yeah, I think if you want to translate that to most talented roster, yeah, I can live with that assessment.
Yeah, I go talent top to bottom. As we were talking about the league this year, something kept sticking out to me about who has questions and who has certain things, certain places. I think a large part of it's going to come down to who can find that way to be rugged more often and consistently be that. And we talked about it with Georgia at Texas last year. That's kind of how they went and won that game.
Yeah.
But some of these teams match up extremely well, except for that part of it. We don't know. And Texas is one of those teams. I wonder how physical, how rugged are they really going to be? And then can other teams take advantage of that if they're not?
Yeah, and I think that's, like you said, that's Georgia's calling card. They're going to bloody your nose. Can you handle that? And, look, the fact that they're here on the same day is fascinating. I'm sure Kirby will be asked about Sark, and Sark will be asked about Kirby. I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
Yep. Been a great day 2 of SEC Media Days. Hugh Freeze, Jackson Arnold, and more. If you missed any of those, get the podcast, joxfm.com. Go back and watch the YouTube. Three-Man Front follows us here live from Digital Drive at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta.